Station, brother.
Station.
Good to be here. Good to be here. Sorry we're late, as always. Happy to be here though, man. As always, got us a good one tonight. Been waiting to review this one. You know, I love me my Stephen King, as always. So tonight we're reviewing 1990s Misery, directed by Rob Reiner, one of Stephen King's finest. Love it so much. Had to own it twice. Double slip in it. You know how we roll. Definitely excited to be here, man. I know I usually put you guys through some of the shitty Stephen King ones that I love, but that some people might not love as much. But tonight, I know most people cannot but agree that this is one of the good ones. I think Robbie would agree on that. This is one of the classics.
It's one of those ones where, like, everybody, you know, Stephen King films and adaptations have this connotation of being bad and terrible overall, but that's not the case because we've talked about things before that were awesome. But Misery is one of those universally acclaimed Stephen King film adaptations.
Yeah, definitely, man. And so it's gonna be a fun one. You know, come hit that like button. You know, we're here every Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We got us a new little Twilight Zone show coming every Friday now. And always go check out my boy Robbie, man. He's dropping bombshells every day, man. Straight up. We got us some special guests as always tonight. We got my main man Link up in the building. What's up, brother?
What up, fellas?
Good to have you as always, brother. We got Scarpad up in the house.
Howdy, y'all.
And last but never least, the Dragon Bro, Fable. My brother, man. Good to have you as always, man. We are sadly missing the main man, Verno, but you know he had a little date night, so we could not oblige.
Actually, I hobbled him. He's on his couch.
Yeah. The ladies like if you don't come to date night, it's hobbling time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She was threatening him with some hobbling, right? I'm sure.
Straight up. But yeah, man, very excited for tonight. Before I forget, any horror news? I kind of didn't even think of it today, but the big one, for sure, Scream 6 trailer. We finally got an official trailer, which, man, that's coming out quick.
March 10th.
March 10th, man. Yeah, dude, I am so excited. I know Robbie wasn't a big fan of Scream 5, but dude, I went to go see that like day one in the theaters with my lady, and that was like a really fun theater experience. That was one of my best theater experiences with her, and it was awesome, man. I think that's what makes it a little bit more special to me, that movie, because it was one of our first theater experiences. Because I've taken her to a
That's
few
sweet, though.
movies that she like did not like she hated Nope and stuff. There's a few times where they were so bad that I thought she was gonna fall asleep on me in the theater. But Scream 5, she really enjoyed, and I'm just so excited to go take her to see Scream 6. You know, Manhattan, baby. Let's see what it does though. But I tell you, man, honestly, you could watch the first 5 seconds of that trailer and then turn it off, because I almost wish I kind of did.
If I haven't watched it yet, so
the first 5 seconds is like all you need, man. First 5.
There's a dope shot where, you know, it's just cool to see on screen where, you know, because obviously it's taking place during like some sort of Halloween party or costume party, but like on the subway where it's like Ghostface and Jason and Hellraiser, you just see them all on the same screen. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, that's sick, man. Yeah, I'm excited.
You mentioned that I wasn't the biggest fan of Scream 5, though I did like it better when we revisited the entire franchise, right?
Oh, nice.
But I wasn't looking forward to anything from Scream 6, which I've been calling Scream Sucks since Scream 5 came out, right? And the trailer did it for me. As I said in my wrap-up this morning, and as I said in the back chats for DHS, I don't think it's a well put together trailer, because it's like it's giving us like, here's a vignette of this scene, here's a cut down of this scene, and it's kind of a weird paced trailer, but everything in it got me excited. The whole idea that this is a new type of Ghostface using guns. He's got a Ghostface cave, bruh. He's got a back cave for Ghostfaces.
Right.
What the hell, dude? This is going to be awesome. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
I agree.
You must have won the
feel like
lotto or something.
That first like 10 seconds, that like opening of the trailer, like you could almost stop it there just to be like, I'm in. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm excited, man. I think it, you know, it's some people were getting a little like, oh man, we've heard that so many times that I'm a different type of Ghostface. But I loved like that scene with Gale.
They were showing it. Yeah,
like when he's like, you know, when she's like, I'm gonna shoot you in the face this time, and it doesn't always like, haven't you seen the other movies? It never works out for it. And you know, I thought that was cool, man. And then behind you just see very quietly, stealthily him just take out whoever Gale's, which I think is supposed to be Gale's new boyfriend, maybe.
How can people get mad about callbacks to that when the whole franchise was built on being a satire of horror tropes, you know, like in a good way though?
I think Robbie might like. I hope he does like this one better than Scream 5, even though, you know, at first he really didn't like it. But I feel like now they kind of got out. It's almost like that Force Awakens thing where they had to do that exact like remake in a way, like the prequel, following those steps. Where now
the
they
Last Jedi, then, is what you're saying. So.
No. I'm not saying that. You know, we don't have Rian Johnson directing that, but I'm saying though that they can kind of go out on their own and they don't have to like be stuck in those. You know,
hey, Rian Johnson's proven he can do a really good.
He's a great filmmaker. Yeah,
I'm not saying he's bad. He just
Looper.
He just didn't.
You guys seen Looper?
The Last Jedi.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah.
I've never seen Looper.
My guess, it's Dewey. He's pissed off. He's not dead. He's Ghostface.
I literally thought that while I was watching the trailer. I was like, if this is
I would not mind that. No, I'm just kidding. You guys left me for dead.
I mean, I was thinking maybe it's gonna be someone as some other, like maybe fucking Stu had a fucking kid that we didn't know about, or maybe Billy had another kid that we don't know about. You know, I mean, he had one. So
I think it's Billy Loomis, right? I think he actually is dead, but somehow he uses his psychic connection to his daughter from beyond the grave to come into reality, kind of like Freddy did in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Well, I tell you, in Scream 5, I thought that you know, whatever her name is, Billy's daughter was gonna be the killer. I thought they were adding some psychotic like dual layer there, where you know, but
where they're like, what if the main character is the killer? But
that's
they
did
that.
That's what I was thinking.
Right? So you don't want to.
Oh yeah,
they did that in 4, but you don't want to keep doing that. But
yeah,
we'll see what they do. I'm excited to see it. I really, really am. I mean, the idea of taking it to New York, it harkens back to Jason Takes Manhattan. Not the best Jason movie, but a favorite of mine. You know, that dude gets his head knocked off, man. Come on, it's awesome.
Right, yeah.
New York's raw. New York's raw. And, right, Fable.
Yeah. I know Kevin Williamson
just for 10 minutes.
Already completed. Kevin Williamson said he saw it and he was in an interview that he absolutely loves it.
He has to say that in order to get the royalty check. He has to say nice things about the
Well, maybe, but just because he says he don't like it, don't mean they don't have to pay him.
I just hope he goes to the bank and like gets this giant check and he just goes, man, this movie sucks. By the way, this movie really blows.
But yeah, I think that might be it. I know there was one other thing. I know that movie, There's Something Wrong with the Children, came out on digital. Another new Blumhouse film that came out this past Tuesday on digital. So I believe it's up to rent on Amazon and all those platforms if you want to check it out. I watched it. I had fun with it. I didn't think it was anything to blow you away, but I give it a good,
In other words, a typical Blumhouse.
6.9 out of 10. I had fun with it. I'd watch it again. But is there anything else that came out, Robbie, or is that I think that covers it?
I think that about covers it. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah. I think Scream 6, man, definitely go shout it out. Oh, well, last thing, I think that Infinity Pool, starring Mia Goth and Alexander Skarsgård, directed by Brandon Cronenberg, David Cronenberg's son, I believe that comes out next Friday, or it may be next Thursday. You know how they do those early showings. Definitely check that trailer out, Infinity Pool. I think that is going to be a good one. I'm loving everything Mia Goth has been putting out. I mean, she's the next big one. Her and Jenna Ortega, I keep saying, are the two big scream queens out in our generation today. So,
speaking of Mia Goth, I did see a quote this week from her about Maxine, which is the third part of the X trilogy.
Right.
And she said that the script, that Ty's script for Maxine, was better than X and Pearl.
Nice.
I can believe it. I mean, I feel like he's gotten. I know some people prefer X, but X Pearl, I feel like he's getting progressively better for me.
I'm interested to see, because X and Pearl, way different, right?
Yeah. They are. Yeah.
And I know him and Mia work together on the script. They're like, that's a very important project to Mia. Like him and her.
She is Ty's muse, bro. 100%. You can pick up on that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I'm very excited to see what they keep doing. Oh, and sorry that there is a new Friday the 13th prequel series in from Peacock by the guy who did
good choice.
The Hannibal series, Brian Fuller. But also that news I think we talked about last week. I can't remember, because that news that came out a couple weeks ago. But then they just announced, because Sean S. Cunningham and some other people were working on I can't remember what the one movie is, but they're working on like House reboot. And so they were working on some movie. I'd have to watch the video. And then they were talking about doing a House reboot. And now they're saying that they have a Friday the 13th reboot in the works. So
another reboot?
Friday the 13th prequel series coming on Peacock. Which that would be weird to get a TV show, even though we did get an old Friday the 13th TV show back in the day. This is supposed to be a prequel with Mrs. Voorhees, and Mr. Voorhees is going to be in it. So we'll see how that goes.
They're correcting that mistake of doing a Friday the 13th show that was not about Jason or his mother.
It was about art.
Yeah, what?
Oh,
It was about the artifact. Like it was like a pawn shop or some shit, right? Yeah,
mystical artworks.
Yeah, boy, it's so weird, so weird.
Yeah.
Oh, and one more thing was Megan got greenlit for a sequel.
Oh yeah,
so that's
Megan
good for horror.
2.0.
There you go.
Coming 2025. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, that's horror news for you this week. So let's get into the 1990s classic Misery, directed by Rob Reiner. Coming off some of his heat from doing Stand By Me. I believe I remember in the interview that they did that they were at an airport, and Rob Reiner and one of his buddies saw the Misery novel, and they were like, "Man, I wonder if this has been optioned." They're like, "It must be, it's in bookstores, it has to be." But Stephen King wouldn't let it get optioned. It was a very, very close book to him that he didn't want to just give to anybody.
Yeah, he wanted to only give it to Rob Reiner, he said.
What was that?
It said that he only wanted to give it, option it if Rob Reiner would do it. Because what he did with Stand By Me.
Because of what he did by Stand By Me, and how, because, obviously this book is very close to him, because James Caan is kind of like Stephen King, the stuff with him trying to get out of the misery business so he can write a different type of book. Misery is supposed to be like the horror, you know, him being stuck in the horror genre and him wanting to do other things like Stand By Me, you know, Shawshank, The Green Mile, you know, more, you know, close to heart books for him and a little bit more serious. And yeah, man, you know, this obviously Rob Reiner was a classic pick. You got K&B coming in to do the effects. Greg Nicotero and all those guys just absolutely knocked it out of the park. I mean, that hobbling scene is just one of the things that everybody talks about. You can't talk about Misery without that classic.
And Barry Sonnenfeld is the cinematographer, man. Look, that's
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man, this movie's absolutely gorgeous. That's why, you know, when they did the 4K for it, even though this is a 4K scan, the Scream Factory, I had to get this because this one, they're both fantastic releases, but I do prefer the Kino a little bit more. But I'm glad I did keep this copy because there's one interview, at least one so far that I know. The Greg Nicotero interview is on here, the Scream Factory, but it's not on the Kino release. So I was really glad to keep both of them because that Greg Nicotero interview was like 30 minutes long, and that's a good one.
See, I have that Blu-ray, the Scream Factory one, and I watched this movie last night at a friend's house, and I didn't have my Blu-ray with me, so we bought it on Amazon digitally. But I would rather watch my Blu-ray because I know things look better on Blu-ray than streaming. But,
yeah. I mean, dude, this I mean, the Scream Factory is gorgeous. It's a 4K restoration from the original film elements. It's absolutely gorgeous, man. The only thing about the Kino, because it is a 4K Blu-ray, some of the winter scenes are a little bit lighter, you know, so I do prefer this one a little more. But honestly, I wouldn't, if I had never saw this one, I would be totally 100% content owning the Scream Factory.
Yeah, that one looks pretty good.
Yeah, they both look absolutely fantastic. But yeah, man, this Rob Reiner was talking that this was Kathy Bates' like first movie where she had it kind of all riding on her, where she was the one of the leads. I think they put James Caan as the lead in this, you know, because Kathy Bates did win supporting role. But in a way, man, I'd say Kathy Bates is the lead. You know, like it's really all harping on her, even though. It was a very hard role for James Caan because he was more used to being kind of moving around, and he's stuck in a bed the whole time. Yeah. And Rob Reiner kept making jokes to saying, you know, he's like, I would try to joke around with him and pretend like I was a, you know, director by guiding him and be like, okay, James, today you're going to be in bed. And he would just keep saying that every day. And he'd be like trying to give him directing notes. You know, he's like, today you're in bed, you know, and he's just like, go from there. Go. You know, it was a hilarious interview with him. But, you know, Rob Reiner opened up that Castle Rock production company, which I always thought was connected to all Stephen King movies, which I didn't know that Rob Reiner owned it. But they release a lot of the really good, you know, releases. You got Needful Things. You got I think Green Mile is also Castle Rock. I know Dolores Claiborne is. I know Shawshank is. Get a lot of great releases from Castle Rock, you know, which is kind of funny because Castle Rock is, you know, in a lot of the Stephen King books as a place. But I think this is just one of the greatest freaking Stephen King movies. It's one that I literally have watched so many times. And if you are a big fan of Misery, I highly recommend checking out. There was a show called Castle Rock.
I guess a prequel was done on
series. Season 1 is all about, you know, this one character who the guy who plays Pennywise in the remakes.
Yeah.
But then season 2 is all about a young Annie Wilkes, which is played by Sarah Silverman. I want to.
It's not.
She kind of looks like Zoe Deschanel.
Yeah, she looked a lot. She looked a lot like Kathy Bates.
She's in Cloverfield though.
Whoever she is awesome because she
knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, I never saw that show, but I understand it was a decent show.
Season 1, I wasn't season 1 was good. Was like a 6. You know, but season 2 was like an easy 8, man.
The thing with season 2 is I loved all the Annie stuff.
Lizzie Kaplan.
All the other stuff about Salem's Lot. I did not care about Tim Robbins.
I didn't either. I was only there for the Annie stuff. Yeah,
that stuff was awesome. All the Annie, somebody needs to just do the cut, the the Annie Wilkins cut. Is it Wilkins? Whatever. The Annie cut.
Wilkes.
Yeah, Wilkes. The Annie Wilkes cut of Castle Rock season 2. That's what we need.
Yep. Yeah, man, that would be awesome just to get a cut of that and then kind of watch just that and then just watch Misery right back, because it kind of gives you some insight into the notebook or her scrapbook that we see in Misery, you know. So that it's very Lizzie Kaplan, that's her name, who plays young Annie Wilkes.
Okay.
She does it.
Yeah, she's in Cloverfield.
Yeah, she's in Cloverfield. But yeah, man, absolutely fantastic. I love this movie so much. It's one of my all-time favorites, without a doubt. I think, you know, James Caan is just so good in this, you know, for him having to lay in the bed, which I found out, man, those legs, man, were just prosthetic, like socks that they basically made. They were like little boots, man, that he would just slip on, and then the bandages would like cover the parts that you would see that kind of, you know, would look like. It's just insane how they did that. It's insane. They talked about when everybody went to, when they were getting ready to do the hobbling scene, they were like, okay, K and B, you know, Greg Nicotero and them, they were like, we're gonna go to lunch. You guys set up for the hot. They came back and James is sitting in the bed, and they're like, what happened? You guys were supposed to get ready, because the prosthetic legs that they had made were cast exactly from James Caan's legs. They were like, they literally thought those were his real legs. They did so goddamn good on them. And you know, it's just, you know, watching that interview, I was like, he's talking about these, because we always associate Greg Nicotero and KMB for horror. They did so much more than just horror. You know, there's so many movies you don't think of, like comedic movies, you know, back in the 80s and 90s, that they didn't have CGI. So a bunch of random scenes, they did have to use practical effects. And you always forget that these guys just had.
Yeah, they weren't just doing like zombies and stuff. They did a lot of different
They did so much, man. They did so much. Like I said, we always think of them as just, you know, Dawn of the Dead and, you know, all them Wishmaster and all these crazy, you know, practical effect driven movies. But they had their hand in so much, man. And, you know, that's why I love The Walking Dead still to this day. And I always try to support it, because they, you know, that show, that's one of the few, I mean, if only the TV shows that are still is just practical effects driven. We kind of were talking about how Last of Us, you know, is a little bit more story driven, but Walking Dead can be a little iffy on the story here and there, you know, because they don't have as much money and, you know, as much time, but the practical effects are always there and just always look so damn good. That's one thing I just always love about it, because I'm like, all right, maybe the story's not the best, but at least I get to see some fucking awesome zombies and some zombies getting their heads ripped off and shit. Right. There's always some good shit to be had in that. But yeah, man, you know, this movie's great. You know, we got a lot more to talk about, obviously. Fable, my man, I want to hear from you first. What did you think about this movie? You know, I know it's obviously not your first time, but, you know, maybe tell me about your first time watching it. You know, what do you think?
I love this movie, man. This movie's a classic to me. It's like you said, one of Stephen King's best adaptations of a Stephen King novel, in my opinion. It's a movie full of great performances all around, I believe, from James Caan all the way to the sheriff and his wife.
Buster. Yep.
Just great performances all around. A lot of tension in this movie. A lot of, like, you know, you want this guy to escape. How crazy is this chick? The way she weird stretches at first, and then she keeps weird stretching. It's like, oh shit, like this chick is totally insane.
Yeah, off her rocker.
You kind of feel bad for her, right? Because she's so cute. And she doesn't curse, right? She doesn't curse.
Cock-a-doodle.
And
comes out like very innocent.
So, yeah.
Until the very end, when she's like, "You cocksucker."
Lets all that
lets it all out. And him too, because he was acting all nice to her, and then when she finally broke his feet, he was like this. When she was like, "Hey, honey," or something, he was like, "Fuck you."
Hey, pumpkin.
Yeah, something like that. So,
I love that, man.
Great performances in this thing throughout. Great tension. Great when the hobbling scene, and also the shotgun scene where the sheriff finds him in the basement.
Yeah.
Both those scenes were very abrupt and like killed it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, holy crap, this guy is done. There's no way he's getting out of this. Like, he's finished. So yeah, and I love the way it ratchets it up at the end, man. That last half hour was great. Like it just boom, 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 boom. So, yeah, and also has a lot to say, like you said, the whole Stephen King parallel to it is about him in a lot of ways. He has a message about writing and writers and stuff like that. So yeah, great movie, classic, man. Love it then, love it now, man.
Heck yeah, man. It's definitely a good one, man, no doubt. I just love when he's like, eat it.
Their fight is almost as good as the They Live fight, right? They had a great fight too.
It was, man. That shit goes for a while, man. That's a good one. I have a lot of fun with it, man. There's just so much every time, I hear, something that you bring up. I'm like, oh, I forgot to talk about this now, but Buster, man, he's great, man. He's like, I'm the chief association president. I'm the sheriff. I'm the deputy. He's like, I'm even a fisherman's, what does he say? He's like, I even can help you scout, fish or whatever. He's like, but, yeah, man, I think, you think he's kind of just a small, like hick, like type, sheriff that doesn't really know much, because he doesn't have really anything to do, but he's a smart guy, man. He figures it all out on his own through, just a quote in the book, which in a way I think is a little far-fetched. Why did he take that quote?
That's a little bit of a stretch.
Why did he start looking into her just because she stops and goes, hey, you got, because that guy pulls in front of her, like he starts looking into her just because of that. But, he's a very observative guy, and he didn't have much to go on, so he had to go through every little lead he had, which showed that he was actually a pretty good sheriff. But I love his banter with him and his wife.
Yeah, oh, for real. He gives me these like
Fargo
Tommy Lee Jones from No Country for Old Men.
Yes, Yo, you read my mind.
To dealing with this stuff, but he's prepared to.
He's up to the
Well, a little Fargo too. Francis McDormand and Fargo.
Exactly.
That's a very good comparison, definitely. Because like just he's older now. He's more in his like retired state, but you don't know what he did before then. He could have been, some big time, FBI agent back in the day or something, or just big New York time police.
And his wife played by
the Misery prequel right now. Okay.
Right. Hell yeah. I love that,
he lets you know what he's thinking without saying anything. Like everybody's talking around him and he's like figuring things out, but he's not really saying much, but he's emoting it. And you can see like, oh yeah, he's got it.
I love him just sitting there playing with the rubber band, and that's all you hear is him just like kind of the gear. You can just see the gears are turning, and you just hear him playing with the rubber band, just flicking it. You don't hear nothing but that, and you just can tell that's him trying to just sitting there thinking like, what, when was that storm? When was that storm last week? Last Tuesday, and he's like, no reason, and it's just gears turning. I love it, man. It's a good one, man. Scarpad though, buddy. What did you think about this? Did you maybe go see it in theaters when it first came out?
No, I don't think I saw it in theaters, but I saw it on video when it came out back in the day. And of course, Rob Reiner, everybody in this movie is great. I mean, this is upper tier Stephen King movie. I mean, let's face it. I mean, the 80s movies were good, but they don't always make that upper tier. Maybe Christine's in that upper tier. And
Carrie, I know, is a big one too.
And Carrie, all that, and the other movies are good too. But this movie's really ultimate tier, and everybody's good. You mentioned Richard Farnsworth. I love that guy. If you want to see a good movie with him in it, check out David Lynch's Straight Story, where he drives across the country on a tractor. That's a fantastic movie.
Well, I've never seen that, man. I have to
Straight Story is a great movie. You should go watch that one. We should, you should do that. PCP movie night's perfect for that. But I mean, and even his wife, Frances Sternhagen, who was in Outland, she's great in this because she's kind of right with him. But yeah, everybody, James Caan, Kathy Bates. I mean, she was in Steel Magnolias before this, but this is really like the first meaty role she had.
Right.
And then Rob Reiner, I still think of him fucking as Meathead from All in the Family. I mean, that guy, his career, like Ron Howard's career, he'd never. I don't think Rob Reiner ever made a bad movie. I mean. Just the choice he made. Every one of his movies, Princess Bride, everything along the way, Spinal Tap. I mean, there's so so many
Oh
good
yeah,
movies.
yeah.
he's a great
I'm
director,
looking,
yeah.
and I was trying to prove you wrong, but you're right. I mean, Few Good Men, When Harry Met Sally, Princess Bride,
Oh,
Stand
yeah.
By Me.
One after the other.
Yeah.
Bing
Wow.
Bang Boom.
Hit
You know,
after
he
hit
made great,
after hit,
fantastic
yeah.
movies. So
I mean, he says in his interview, he's like, he's like, I might not be a great actor. He's like, I'm a decent actor. He's like, but he's like, I think that really helped me guide
Understand that.
actors. And he's like, I might not have been the greatest technical, director. He's like, but I knew, how to direct actors because
Well, being in All in the Family, I mean, that's one of the greatest showrunners, the creators ever, was who made All in the Family.
Norman
He
Lear,
was learning from the best early.
I mean,
yeah,
but I think he is a good actor, though. I mean,
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street when he plays Leo's dad, I mean,
he's been in quite a few movies.
I love him in Spinal Tap as the director. He just
And I think, did you direct the other one? Did you direct that one about the dog show?
No,
it
that was
his?
Christopher Guest.
Oh, Christopher Guest. Okay, Spinal Tap. I just yeah, but that is definitely up between. I mean, I love the movie, the setting, and then you even had Lauren Bacall in there. I don't know how they got Lauren Bacall. She's from Casablanca and all that. I mean,
I saw that. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just saw that they were asked. They were like, "Would you mind if Lauren Bacall's in this movie?" And Rob Reiner's like, "What the fuck?"
She loves Stephen King.
Yeah, I mean, and just her whole performance where she really turns on a dime, from like sweet and innocent to like utterly just bongos fucking psychotic. And I was watching it with my 93-year-old mom today, who probably saw it but didn't remember it, and even she liked it. But she thought he was dead. I said, nope, horror movie. She ain't dead.
Yeah, this is more like.
And I think she popped up twice during that at the end. But yeah, it was. I love it. I've seen it quite a few times, and it's one of my favorite Stephen King's.
Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, I remember for a while, like before I had the Scream Factory. It's a hard one to find every now and then through like, obviously you can always kind of rent it and stuff, but it's like I don't.
Well, no, before Scream Factory picked it up, it was out of print for a long time.
I was gonna say it was very hard to find, and I like never could find it. And so when I finally could get a release, that's why I'm glad to own 2 copies of it.
I mean, for movies,
it was a hard one to find.
I mean, we should look up how many Stephen King adaptation of movies won Academy Awards. I don't think many.
No, I don't think so, man.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And she did win Best Actress, Dylan. It wasn't Best Supporting. She won Best Actress.
Oh, she did. Okay.
Oh yeah.
No, she deserved it.
That was her breakthrough, man.
Now the sheriff was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. He did not win. He was
nominated.
nominated.
He was, yeah.
Which I thought, I mean, he should have won that.
But I think he won it for that movie I was talking about, Straight Story. I think he won it for that as Best Actor.
It was also nominated for film editing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I mean, this movie is just edited very well. I love the setting of it. It's just kind of set in this house, but you get some few angles, where you get the winter setting, farmhouse, and everything. And I think it looks fantastic, man. I love it, man. Steph, my man, what did you think about this, though, man? I'm sure it was not your first time watching this.
No, not my first time. I've seen it a few times over the years, but I haven't seen it in a while. And I was watching it earlier today, and I kind of wasn't feeling it. But I was talking to Fable earlier after the show, and I was telling him about it. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to watch it, but I'm not really feeling it. He was like, you got to just cut off everything, put your phone down, no distractions, and just watch the movie. I was like, you know what, you're right. So I did that, and this was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. I think Kathy Bates, the movie kind of hinges on her performance. Kind of reminded me of Moon in a way. Even though she's got way more people to work off of, Sam Rockwell is just essentially working with himself.
Right.
But in that aspect, that it really works on her performance, because that role could have kind of went south if you given it to some actor or actress who didn't have that depth to go pull from. So I think she did like a phenomenal job. I can see why she won. She deserves the hype. James Caan was Caan. Caan was amazing as always. He's got like that Bruce Willis, John McClane vibe, where he's just like, you never feel like he's gonna get his ass beat. And I think that kind of works against the movie just a little bit, because even in like some of the idea of the movie is almost a little bit scarier than how it was executed. not to say it's a bad movie, but with certain scenes, like it's terrifying the idea of it. But James Caan has that vibe of he's just bro, he's gonna take a few lickings. You just know he's gonna pull through in a sense. And I just kept thinking, like, if that role went to someone like Justin Long, he was like the scared writer. He kind of played that in Tusk, like that. That James Caan's a great actor, but I feel like his machoism or his just badassery just kind of exuded too much throughout the film, and I just didn't feel it was threatening. But
at least for us as the audience, even though we didn't know, we get to see her just carry this motherfucker over her shoulder. What kind of beast is this?
She had some strength, bro.
You can kind of believe she could do it, though. You bought.
Oh yeah.
You gotta also think though. At first, he doesn't know how crazy she is. Right. He just thinks like it's his number one fan that saved his life.
Right.
It's that where it starts to build.
Yeah, when she comes in smashing the shit over his head,
when he gives her the book, and then she's trying to make a judgment on the language, and then he's like, "Whoa," and she snaps on him while she's feeding him the soup. It starts to build, and then over time he keeps seeing how crazy she is.
As soon as he found out that Misery was going to be dead, that was going to be the trigger.
Yeah.
And so she started apologizing to his ass. Like
she was going to read it at some point.
Yeah, if you never saw this before,
he's playing. He's also playing a part too, where he's trying to just
placate her,
he's trying
so
to
she
play
doesn't.
her too, where he's like playing the role where I'm this crazy, incredible writer, and he figures like I can maybe somehow get out of this, but if he acts crazy on her, if he acts scared, it's not gonna do really any good, man. So he kind of just has to play a part and just make the best of his situation. Where I know what you mean with Tusk, where Justin Long's just kind of scared shitless the entire time, But I feel like that wouldn't go off as well with James Caan, especially if you saw him like that. You just maybe not. I don't know. Just because this guy was in The Godfather playing Sonny and stuff, he was just such
there's preconceived notions. He just comes out. He has that tough guy
in that way. Yeah.
But
I don't know. I love his. I love because. Obviously, he's stuck in the bed, so he has to give more like eye movement, and just you see it in his eyes how scared he is and how he won't really say anything. But after she leaves, from him like spilling the soup on him, you see in his eyes he's like, I'm fucked. Or when she does,
bro, that's the best bit, Dylan. I watched that thing twice last night. I had to rewind it to see it again because when she does that shit and spills the soup, look what you made me do, and leaves. He just has this look of utter hopelessness, like, oh no.
even like when she comes with the book, because he gives her his book, which that's supposed to be his new novel, because he's like, I'm done with Misery. And then when she comes back from the store with his new novel of Misery, he knows he just killed Misery off. And she keeps coming back and forth saying, "Oh, I'm on this page. I'm on this page."
Yeah.
And the second time he comes, and he's like, he hears the door opening, but it's the pig that comes in. And she's all excited because he knows he's waiting for her to come and be fucking
to get to that part.
Because he knows, oh my God, when she reads, he's fucked. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is she gonna react, especially after the shit with the tomato soup? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just insane the eye movement that he gives.
The part where he's trying to poison her, I believe, and she spills the drink. You can see all the hope in his face fade away. And she's there. So I'm so sorry, and he's like, my only chance is gone.
Yeah,
he has to play it off like
it's okay. He can't.
No, I wasn't trying to. I'm not that. What I said, he did a wonderful, masterful job. James Caan is amazing, but I just didn't ever feel like the idea of the situation was a little bit more scary to me than, not to say he didn't pull the job off, but he did a great job. But he just has this air of he can handle himself, and that just shone through for me.
Oh, I mean, that's a good judgment because I think he does feel like he can kind of,
but I definitely
somehow he feels like he can get out of it.
I definitely bought that she could do good harm to him, especially
how.
Yeah.
But because I also think that he thinks that that this lady has called his attorney, that he thinks that she has called people for him, and then once she reads the book and about Misery dying. And she comes middle of the night and she's like, and don't expect for anything to happen, because if anything happens to me, I didn't call anybody. and you're fucked basically.
She's
And then
like
that's where it really sinks in, and he's like, I'm fucked, you know.
She's laying the cards out on the table, but I get what Steph is saying, because at any moment you just look at James Caan, and you're like, he's about to pop up on stage and be like, wait till I get my legs right. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Yeah,
He's waiting to go.
Yeah, he's
but
trying to strengthen himself back up.
He's like, I hope my leg
wait for the
heals
right
before
moment.
she finds out I
Well,
killed
that's what he
Misery.
did.
God damn it!
He built his arms by lifting a typewriter. That's what got her in the end.
Yep.
And to riff off what Fable said earlier about it being kind of about, you know, Stephen King, and I got that. I didn't really look at it as Stephen King himself, but like as a parallel between the relationship of creators and fans. You know, like when creators put a work out into the world, it's almost no longer theirs anymore. Just because it's not up to you can't dictate or control how someone's going to receive your work, you know, whether what your intent was or not. Like, it reminded me of like Warren Ellis in Planetary. He doesn't look back on writing that book fondly, I guess, because he had a lot of like trauma going on or serious shit during the course of writing that book. But at the same time, it reminds him of something bad, but if a fan comes up to him and, you know, wants to talk about it and tells him about how much it meant to him, you know, is he gonna receive that badly because it meant something to someone else, even though it reminds him of something bad? You know, it's like, it's no longer creators, you know, and you got crazy fans pretty much, you know, you got to be careful out here. But yeah, I did see that relationship between creator and fan.
You know what's interesting too? I think this is a movie, we think about it, 1990, it doesn't seem, because we're mostly all old. I'm the oldest dying guy here. That's 35 years ago. And this story, how would it be different if it would be filmed now? I mean, this was filmed back before really the internet, cell phones. They had a typewriter, no computers. I mean, could you do this movie now and make it believable? Back then, yeah, because it's out in the middle of nowhere after a snowstorm. I guess you could, but it just shows that an older movie, because of the lack of technology, you know, it makes a lot easier than to try to make this movie and made it now. And you just wonder how they would redo it if they did a reboot.
Touché.
Just like in Scream 2, they had to mention caller ID being a thing.
Well, Scream's the perfect thing. That movie series started out in practically prehistoric eras, and it's ending in the digital age. So it is very interesting how they're keeping it going now. Time is totally different than it was back then. So.
Okay. Well, anything else you want to say, my man, Steph?
No, it was a great film though. I'm glad I paid attention to it and gave it a chance.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm glad that Fable kind of told you to turn the phone off, because I think, you know, sometimes you're just not in the mood for, you know, certain things. So you gotta kind of get in the zone, you know. But I feel you, man. Robbie, my man, what did you think, brother? First time watching this? Definitely not.
No, not at all. Like Scarpad, first time I watched this would have been on video. I've mentioned this plenty of times. My mom was a big horror fan. My stepdad was a big movie watcher. So we always went to the video stores. And this was one that we got as soon as it was available. Like, I remember it. I remember seeing like a bunch of copies with no VHSs behind them, just the covers. We found the one, and we're like, we get Misery, because some people don't remember. Like, you'd have like a new release, you'd go to the video store, and you'd be like, damn, they're all out of all 50 copies of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's when you get Troll 2 and shit like that.
Yeah, that's when you go, let's finally check out Troll 2, where they're eating people salad. I love this film. I think it's great. I think, like Scarpat said, it's a top tier Stephen King adaptation. Like Fable said, it's one of the best. Like Steph says, it works really well. I love this film. And on the rewatch, so I loved it back then, and it was one that was one of those constant in rotations, right? Like, it was something that I could watch with my mom and my stepdad because it didn't have nudity in it, and that was my only rule. If it had nudity in it, I could watch it, but I'd have to turn my head. So this is one of those ones I could watch unfettered, right? I could watch it on my own. And I love this movie. And what's crazy is knowing now what we know about horror and cinema and how it's progressed. This is from a time where things were really getting toned down as far as horror in mainstream cinema, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it's still, it builds up tension, it builds up the suspense. It is so performance based that hobbling scene, honestly, is one of the most tame, gorish scenes in any fucking movie. But it is memorable in this movie because it stands out. Just like the shotgun blast, right? That stands out because that's not what defines this movie as a horror film or as a thriller or as a suspenseful film. It's the performances. It's the way it's put together. Barry Sonnenfeld did some amazing work on this. My favorite shot being the one where you see the sheriff and his wife walking to their car. They see a car passing them and the camera just turns around and it's Annie in the car, right? Like there's some really nice bits there. James Caan is awesome. Obviously, Kathy Bates is awesome. The sheriff is awesome. God damn, I forgot his name. It's Richard Farnsworth. Thank you. And I loved it. And on the rewatch, what really surprised me is how fucking funny this movie is. This movie's got comedy all the way throughout it. And that's one of the reasons why the tension works so well. Because it's not just like this the whole movie. Like we've seen movies that are like that where they just they can expertly just keep ranking it up, but you got to use things to bring it back down. They use comedy so well in this movie. The script is perfect. The pacing is perfect. Fable, you mentioned that the last 30 minutes, it's ramping up. You never feel slow for me. Like I was never non-engaged in this movie. And it jumps right in. It jumps right in. And it just keeps ratcheting everything up, but it uses that comedy to kind of make it a fun experience to watch as well. And
like a palate cleanser.
Exactly. And then you get to that hobbling scene. You get to what I love so much about it is so much of it is things that are built up, little hopes that are built up. Oh, he's hiding his pills. Oh, he's got the knife. Oh, the sheriff's looking for him. Every single goddamn one of those fails. Right? Just absolutely fucking fails. Kathy Bates is a revelation in this. She definitely earned the Academy Award 100%. I think the movie's amazing. Rob Reiner is, I wouldn't say he's on my like top 10 favorite filmmakers, but I don't know why, because I love every film of his that I've seen, you know? And he's able to also, he hasn't just made Misery over and over again. He made The Princess Bride. He made Stand By Me. He made Spinal Tap. He made Few Good Men.
Very diverse.
They're all very different, right? Yeah. So he understands story. He does have that technical craft and skill. I think he's a very talented director. When Harry Met Sally, he made one of the greatest romantic comedies of all time as well. He made one of the greatest fantasy films of all time, right? Like, this is it, right? And there was a reason why Stephen King only allowed this movie to go out for rights to Rob Reiner, because Stephen King got hurt a lot by adaptations of his films. Yep. Obviously, as much as we love The Shining, he doesn't, right? But even as much as we love things like Firestarter, or as much as we may love other, they really kind of suck compared to like some of the other horror stuff that was going on in the 80s. He'd been burned. He'd been burned by a lot of bad deals. He'd been burned by a lot of like, maybe you get a big advance, like a big like a fee up front or something, but then I think it means more to him to have the movies actually resonate with the film audience than getting paid for it, right?
Yeah. Feel that they remember the movie a lot of times more than they do the book.
Exactly. And that's what the last thing I wanted to say here for the overall bit was, I haven't read the book, but seeing the movie, I can imagine the book being so much more intense, because I can imagine it being more about that internal struggle that the writer's going through, you know, because we see the little bits, like, so much, like when that dinner scene when she spills the wine, right? Bro, he spent like days and days and days of fucking preparing that fucking bit. You know what I'm saying? And Dylan, just because you have it doesn't mean you read it.
Nice.
I haven't read it in like fucking 12 years.
No, I can imagine the book being really good. And
the only thing I remember is that the hobbling scene is different in the book.
Okay. Yeah, I think I remember hearing about that. Yeah, I think that's right. She cuts a foot off, right? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah, she actually cuts one of his foot off.
Not like
too much. but the hobbling shit's worse. And the way they did that with the jelly and the bone, and it just like it's so good.
And they filmed both legs being done that way, but Rob Reiner
They showed one.
One was enough.
Yeah.
And then the first you see it, and then the second you just see his reaction.
Right.
He said that was enough.
So I loved it when I was a kid watching it for the first time at 10 or 11, and I loved it as an adult watching it, and I loved it last night watching it with a friend who had never seen it. She loved it as well. So
nice.
The movie's got top-notch scores.
She had never seen it. That's sweet, bro. That's a big one. Nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. But yeah, I know Greg Nicotero was saying in his interview too. He's like, over the years, he at first was bummed that they didn't show both legs being, because he's like, we had spent so much time. He's like, practical effects guys spend weeks, a couple months doing these effects, and they only get, like 8 frames, 12 frames, and and they get bummed sometimes. He's like, but over the years, I've become, more of a seasoned director, and I can understand. He's like, it came out perfect, and he's like, just people always remember that movie for that scene,
And when you rewatch it every time, that hobbling scene is so quick. It's so freaking quick. And the other thing they do so well is, you were mentioning the leg socks. To me, what's even more painful than that is when he has to, for the first time, get out of the bed.
Right.
Oh yeah.
All like, bro, I can't handle that. I can't even.
His shoulders busted out, and he basically like lands on his shoulder, like to let his legs out. Like, just because.
Why are you sweating so much? And
you know why I'm sweating.
He's like, you know why I'm sweating. He's like, you were beaten off, weren't you? He should have been like, leave me alone. I'm practicing guitar.
I want my pain meds.
Yeah, it's definitely good, man.
Hey, James Caan's tough. He stuck a fucking can of lighter fluid up his ass.
I was wondering where the fuck that came from.
He did.
Yeah, I mean, he does.
Christopher Walken stuck a watch, so
I mean, it's down his pants.
For years up his ass.
For years. It was in my ass.
That watch was in my ass.
Yeah, though. I absolutely love that scene though too. Like when he's just stuffing that paper down her mouth. That one's just so damn good,
You want the story, bitch?
Yeah, walking with James Caan. Imagine how that movie changed.
When he broke her nose and you see all that blood dripping down her face, you're like, yeah.
She really was an ox though, bro. She hit her head. I thought she was done for, and she got back up like 2 more times after that.
He hit her in the head with that fucking cast iron pig there. Whack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that cracked her skull.
And then I mean, she smashed her head on the typewriter. I mean, she took a beat, and she was.
It seemed like it was in the tempo too.
She was a tough woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Although, does anybody else think it's kind of cool to fucking lay in the bed, eat Cheetos with a pig? Watch TV.
Did I miss anyone talking about the crazy trajectory of Rob Reiner films, including this? We have definitely spoken on how great Rob Reiner is in his films. Like, I mean, great. I mean, just this and Stand By Me, they're very, very 2 different films, And,
probably some of the best Stephen King adaptations, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Stand By Me, Misery, The Green Mile, Shawshank.
Shawshank.
Those are Rob Reiner?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just saying those are some.
Oh, the good adaptation.
Okay. Yeah. Stand By Me and this are Rob Reiner. Those are both Rob Reiner. But Shawshank and Green Mile, those are Frank Darabont.
Okay.
But he did. I mean, the same company, Castle Rock, produced
all of these.
Right.
Shawshank,
right. Yeah.
Green Mile, and all those. Yeah. And Needful Things is another one.
Yeah, pretty much everything going forward in the 90s forward.
We're good. Yeah, we're really good.
Which I think, Stephen King was like, oh, I finally found, someone in a company that, takes my work serious. And, because that's another reason why I think he only gave Dr. Sleep to Mike Flanagan, because of how well he treated some of his adaptations, like Gerald's Game. They said no one would ever be able to adapt that, and it just wasn't possible. And Mike Flanagan knocked Gerald's Game out of the park, which
I never saw that, but I saw it on that recent Shudder 101 Scariest Movie Moments, and I really got to see that movie.
Dude,
is that the one she's tied to the bed?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to see that, dude. Netflix put out a few great Stephen King adaptations. They did. Gerald's Game is probably the best. Into the Tall Grass was another really good one that I liked.
That was interesting.
Joe Hill and Stephen King adaptation. And then they did the 1922 or 23, I think it's called. That's another good one that has I always forget his name, the guy who plays the OG blonde Punisher.
Thomas Jane?
Thomas Jane.
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, he's in that one. And that's a good one too. I mean, that's the only bummer about those being on Netflix is we've never gotten a physical release for them, which pisses me off because you guys know I'm so crazy about I want every Stephen King adaptation on DVD or Blu-ray, whatever way I have to get it. I want them. So I'm praying one day I can get maybe, even if I got to get like a burned copy, I don't care. I just have to own those on physical. Gerald's Game though is incredible. Yeah. It's a very good movie. How does the director of Misery also direct Harry?
I know, right?
I know, that's crazy. I mean, just the
man understands relationships.
Maybe it's because of his. Maybe it's because of his he was already known in Hollywood because of his involvement in All of the Family or something. But he didn't get typecast. He didn't have to go through some of those struggles that Romero and Carpenter had to go through, right? Where he was getting opportunity to make these movies, right? So lots of different ones.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. The score. Talk about the score in this. I think that intro music, fantastic. Like we said, the movie gets right into it with him popping that bottle of champagne, doing his ritual after he makes a book, I'm sorry. Lights his cigarette, which I always thought that was the coolest thing, the way he lit that match. I always wanted to do that when I was a kid. I would sit there for hours trying to go, like, God damn it. Finger all wet and sweaty out there. I'm like, it's never going to fucking light. Anyone ever want to do that either? Or is that just me?
I wanted to do that. I wanted to do it with my teeth and all. I could never do it. Yeah, I couldn't even light a match on the ground. It would just break in half, man. I just could never do that.
I know.
I got some Zippo tricks I can do. I can flick it open. I can snap it lit. I got some Zippo tricks, but that's not as impressive.
I think I got one, and it's just, let's see.
Yeah, good job. Oh yeah, and then
don't set fire to the house.
There you go. Look at that. That's easy.
If I had fluid, it would have lit.
Well, that's how you got that thing behind you, man. Don't set that on fire.
Nah, I won't. I told you.
Look at fluid. This is Dylan's new bit now. He's just gonna have the Zippo all the time. He's like,
no fluid, what's that movie when he's like, God damn it. What's that movie where fuck? I can't even think of it now, but there's a movie when he has that fucking lucky.
Is it Night of the Creeps?
What is it?
No. Night of the Creeps? No.
I don't think. Maybe, but there's another. I don't think that's the one.
The movie.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I think the score in this pretty damn good. But I think the soundtrack is really good. It's got a few classic songs. I love that intro music, and sadly we don't get any Liberace.
Oh, we got some Liberace was in there.
Is there? I was just joking.
And that song that played toward the end of it, my mother loved it. So.
Oh really?
She's a big Liberace fan.
Oh, okay. I know. Well, it seems like you might have to watch out for her because it seems people that love Liberace are crazy.
What are you talking about?
I love Liberace.
Liberace, man. He was the guy.
There are moments where she comes across as so wholesome in this movie.
Yeah. That was one of the funny lines, too, when she said it, saying, I want to play my Liberace records.
You like Liberace, right? Who do you think was that? Who do you think was always in the front row when he came to town?
That's right.
Right.
Okay. It was me.
Yeah, man, it's hilarious. Let's see. Does anyone else want to talk about the score besides Robbie?
Shit,
Like, we don't have to waste time going around.
Well,
I ain't gonna put you on the spot. I want to just hear. We just want to hear what Robbie has to say.
I was just gonna say that it's one of those scores for me that it works, so I didn't notice it too much.
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not terrible where you're like, this is garbage. It flows with the movie. You know, there's definitely some scenes where, you know, it's late at night and the storm's going, and then it kind of creeps in on them to kind of, you notice that a little bit more, but it's a lot more subtle in a lot more areas than it isn't, you know. But yeah, I always recognize that intro music, you know, where obviously he's about to crash the car and he's going down the hill, and you know, after he does his ritual and everything, I love how it just kind of that classical music. I don't know what the song's called, but that always kind of jumps me right into it, you know. I love it. But Robbie, what did you think, brother?
Well, I mean, honestly, I think the music's okay. Like, it's not a standout for me in the film, right? Mark Shaman is the guy who did the score, and he did a lot of scores with Rob Reiner. He did When Harry Met Sally. He did Few Good Men, right? But he's also done other things, like, for instance, The Addams Family and City Slickers and Sister Act. And he also did Sleepless in Seattle, and I'm looking through the list now. Sister Act 2 and City Slickers 2. Now, when the same composer comes back to do the sequel on City Slickers and Sister Act, I gotta respect that.
Right.
Oh, he also did The American President and The First Wives Club, The Ghost of Mississippi, which is another Rob Reiner film that I absolutely love. Willem Dafoe and Gene Hackman. If you've never seen that movie's awesome. Or am I thinking of Mississippi Burning? Anyway, it doesn't matter now. So, look at those movies that I just mentioned, right? Billy Crystal films, right? Hot Shots, The Addams Family, City Slickers.
Addams Family stands out.
There's a reason why it doesn't 100%.
That's Rob Reiner?
No. The composer.
Oh, okay.
Addams Family, though, was Barry Sonnenfeld.
Barry Sonnenfeld director.
Who was the cinematographer of this film. Fantastic. I think that it just isn't a perfect fit. And this is the thing. There's a whimsy quality to a lot of 90s scores because there's a lot of family films in the 90s. There's a lot of family comedies in the 90s. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I do love that in certain things. It's one of the things I loved about Satan's Little Helper soundtrack, right? Was it had that sense of 90s whimsy about it. But for Misery, it took me out just a little bit. Not enough. Like, it wasn't like a standout, like, oh, I hate the music in this movie. Yeah. There were plenty of times where I did like the music, the score, the composition. However, for the most part, it just didn't quite get me. And what I could have used was maybe a very eerie theme that repeated throughout when certain moments happened, certain subtle moments happened, right? But aside from that, like, I'm not going to shit on Mark Shaman because I think he's a great composer for what he does. And Misery's is because of the time that it was made. It's got this certain type of score. It's like Bad Wolf has that fucking, or Bad Moon has that same kind of fucking score because it's a 90s movie. And all 90s movies sound like they're family movies, even though they're not. But it's okay. It's okay. But it's probably, to me, one of the weaker parts of the film is the score, in my opinion.
Speaking of James Caan, though, I know Scarp had seen it, but you ever watch Rollerball? I always hear that's one of James Caan's big films. I never saw that one.
Is awesome.
The OG one.
Rollerball is awesome.
Yeah, it's the original one.
Not the LL Cool J one.
Yeah, don't watch the one with LL.
Yeah.
No, I know that one. And
they have that available on 4K, and I got the Blu-ray of Rollerball. It's a good movie.
Didn't Kino do that, or was that Scream?
Kino, I believe.
I'll have to check that one.
If you watch Rollerball, also check out Logan's Run. Two very similar movies back in the day.
Logan's Run is the shit.
And if you're wanting more James Caan classics, watch Way of the Gun, which is being covered on PCP Movie Night this year. It's one of the best neo-westerns I've ever seen. And Brian's Song, one of the greatest sports films of all time, football film. Oh my God, he's amazing in that film. And he's great in silent
and
movies.
Elf.
And Elf, I guess. I've never seen Elf.
Definitely. But yeah, man, cinematography I think is great in this too, as Robbie was saying. It's very, very good set designs, very good, shots where, it's just that farmhouse and you get the winter scene. That's a big reason why I thought this would be a perfect one during, the cold winter we're going through right now. At least I am, and I know Scarpad is, and Fable probably is going through. I forget where Steph is, and I know Robbie might be a little bit.
I'm in Michigan, so yeah.
Bro, I've had my AC on this week.
Yeah.
I've had my air conditioner on this week, bro. It's like crazy.
Damn.
Now, one thing about the shot composition, I did like the shots they used because it gave you like a spatial awareness of the room. It felt like, you actually felt like knew where things were placed in the room. Like, I don't know, it was weird, but
you
Right,
felt like you were in the room with him at times.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah. But,
And so that when all these meticulous things have to happen, I'm going to learn to lift this up and strengthen my arm to lift this typewriter because I'm going to have her drop down there, knock down. Like it's all in that spatial awareness has a lot to do with our understanding of his preparation, right? Which I think is really, really solid. So that's a well pointed out point.
Yeah.
We'll roll with that.
And there's some flair in it too, because when she breaks his feet with the hammer, the camera closes in on her face, and she's like, "I love you so much."
Oh
Something
yes,
like that. She says some creepy ass shit.
God, I love
And
you
it was
so
like
much.
comedic, creepy, and everything at the same time.
And
It was just
insane.
zoom in on her face.
Yeah. I always forget because when I was just watching, and then she does that, and then it's just right in her face, and she's just like, God, I love you. Just that breathe out.
She's like a high from it and shit.
God, like yes, dude. I'm like, holy shit! Like you're laughing, but you're like, this woman is batshit crazy. Like, like Robbie said, it's like it's funny as hell at times, but then you're just like, this woman is fucking crazy,
Right.
It's and then when she's talking about the short films or whatever, what do they call that exactly? The short films that you would go see every
serials.
week.
Yeah, it was serials, and he called them cliffhangers, but she was like, she called him something. She got pissed when he's like, "You mean cliffhangers?"
I know what they're called. And then when she stands in line, she sees the one guy and he burns alive, which she thought was cool, basically, which kind of shows another part of her crazy. Like she wanted this guy to die in the crash, and then she goes next week, and then when he gets out last minute, he jumps out of the car and everyone's cheering, and she's like, "You best believe I didn't cheer." She's like, "I didn't want." She's like, "Is everyone crazy? He didn't get out of the cock-a-doodle car." And he's just sitting there like, this bitch is nuts. And he's like, they always did cheat on those cliffhangers.
Yeah, I mean, she's not old enough to remember movies that old. That's how you can see it in the movie. That would have been 1930s or 40s, and she was only like 40 years old, so that didn't make too much sense. But still, she's crazy. Who knows?
Well, you figure maybe the movie is based in maybe the 70s or 60s.
No, it's definitely 90s when the movie was filmed.
I would not say it's the 90s.
I definitely think it's the 90s, yeah.
All they had were landlines. There's cell phones in the 90s.
Not in 1990.
Man.
No, very. No,
you wouldn't have had a Zach Morris cell
phone.
I mean, Zach Morris had a phone, and that was it. Like that's all I knew of. Zach Morris, people from a John.
The only reason her house looked old with the old-fashioned TV is because she was nuts, and that's what she had. But no, it was definitely. If you look at Lord Bacall's office, it was the 90s.
Maybe.
I don't know. I didn't see no Hot Pockets, so I can't, or Bagel Bites, so I can't quite place the time.
I mean, the cell phones did start in the 90s.
It started in the 80s, I think.
Dylan,
right?
were you even alive in the 90s?
Yes.
What year? What year were you born?
So, and you were there.
Yeah,
so you
cell phones.
Cell
phones back then used to come.
What
with
year
a
were you
suitcase.
born?
Like
94, dude.
94.
And it said cell phones became popular in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, but
some things were like
rich people had them.
$3,000-$4,000 back then.
Yeah,
Dylan,
Dylan, I don't think Dylan understands the difference between 1990 and 1998 because it was a world of difference there in those 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm just saying that this movie could have been. It doesn't mean that the movie was placed in 1990. It could have been. I mean, plus it's also like a hick town, but I think it could be based in the 80s.
It's probably based. When was the book written? That's probably when it's based, right? So,
right.
Book was written like in the
80s. Like this is the.
That's what I'm saying.
Are we focusing so much on this one bit of whether or not she's old enough to have seen it?
Scarbat brought it up.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I said she's crazy, so who knows what she means? So,
that's right.
There you go.
Who knows what she means? Dylan's looking up some shit about cell phones right now.
Let's see, Steve Jobs is mad 2004.
I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I think that this book
Now
is
they had
like
they
an
had
older
cell phones
printing
in the
book.
80s because there's movies where you see guys having in the
Yeah, but
car.
they had them in the
It's just
70s. They had a
bricks.
real
Yeah,
phone
they had
with
them
a
in their
fucking
phone and
cord.
everything
Yeah,
too, and
it's
like
just
the,
John
bricks.
Wayne had one in fucking a movie where he was a cop.
Yeah.
People that looked like a fucking briefcase.
Yeah. They look like the damn thing that the army uses when they're calling people on the
1973,
battlefield.
dude.
Actually, if this was really happening in the 80s, the fucking guy would have a pager and he didn't have that either. So there we go.
Exactly. So this movie could even be based in like the 60s or 70s, man.
This could be.
First mobile phone was 1973. It might have looked like a fucking shoe,
Yeah.
but it was still a mobile phone.
No, that's a Get Smart cell phone. Looked like a shirt.
All right, we broke the show with all this cell phone talk.
Even Steph left.
We don't know where to go now.
That was like, what?
The Misery novel came out in 87.
It might be set in like the 80s. I don't know. Who cares, man? Like,
Well, Robbie, as a top level YouTube influencer, what's your preference in cell phones? You rocking an Android or an iPhone?
top level. I'm on an Android, and I still only know how to use it to do like 5% of what it's capable of. So. Somebody the other day was explaining to me very simple things I can do with my cell phone. I was like, you tell me I can talk on the phone, watch a video, and listen to music? That's ridiculous. I can't do that.
Well, you're pushing that for them. But Android, probably not.
Well, we got a second. Let's.
You can do that on Android. So,
I'm on the Android. That's what I do. So
yeah, I got an iPhone, but my shit's old as fuck, man. I literally am on like an iPhone 7, dude, and they're like iPhone 14 right now.
Dylan's still trying to use an iPod 1 to talk to people.
Literally, man. I'm trying to freaking.
He's still got the T-Mobile Sidekick.
Yeah, literally.
Revolutionary for its time.
Dude, that Sidekick was the shit. Everybody wanted a Sidekick, man. Oh.
I know, I still do.
Well, that was what was that?
Trying to upgrade my iPhone 1 to a Sidekick.
Well, I remember those fucking what were the ones with the keyboard on them? I forget the name of that. That was
the BlackBerry.
BlackBerry, that's it.
BlackBerry.
I think that was a Sidekick.
See, now we're talking tech.
No, there's
Sidekick
switched open.
Yeah, but you would pop it open. But the BlackBerry had the whole thing right here.
Oh, okay.
I can never type of those little tiny fucking
like
keys.
So ridiculously big compared to like what cell phones were like back in the earlier days, right? They're getting closer to what they looked like in 1973, Dylan.
Walkie-talkie style.
I should go back to a flip phone.
Yeah.
Let's shout out the chat real quick while we got a second. We got my man Nerdtastic News, aka Tomorrow.
Hey.
What's up, brother? We got Two Gun, as always, up in the chat. We got Gary North up in here. What's up, brother? We got Eric Station. We got Mark McGrath. Let's see, we got Taki up in the house. What's up, brother?
Hey.
What's up, Taki? What's up, man?
We got Perry. What's up, brother? What's up, P-Money? Got brother Joe up in here. We got Frank up in the house. And we got GT Comics.
Yeah, boy.
We got Government Cheese. What's up, man?
We're all a little bit familiar with that.
Government cheese,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
I love me some Government
I live
Cheese.
out the cheese, man.
Can I still buy that somewhere? Can I just buy a big chunk of processed
The big black.
cheese? Man, I love that. The
Velveeta?
Velveeta's like pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, straight up. What's up, Garcia? What's up, my man Sammy? Thanks on the I love the new horror banner. Thank you, man. I love it
great.
too.
And I got to hang out a little bit with Sam today. He came up to my shop, so I got some things to show and tell that he passed on.
Yeah, I saw that picture. That's a big ass store you're in, man. I tell you.
You said what?
It's like a
you
warehouse.
Said Sam came up to the store?
Yeah, Sam came up to the store to hang out. Sam lives like 3 hours away from me, and he's been up there a few times, and he came up.
Man,
today.
that's awesome, dude. Sam's one of the good ones, man, no doubt.
And he wanted me to let you guys know that he watches every show, even though he can't be here live every time. He watches every goddamn show. He loves DHS.
Yeah, no.
Man, and I love him, bro. He's one of the biggest avid supporters, man. Always good to see him in the chat, man. I know he's not always able to make the live stream, so it's always good to see him in the chat.
No, good person, good
he's a cool dude, man, and kind of sexy. I'll be honest with you. He's kind of sexy.
All right,
that can't hurt. That can't hurt.
Oh, and we got Larry Moore station, brother. Oh, and it just hit just in time, Big Herm.
Hey,
what's up, brother?
Hey.
Hell yeah.
Fuck you, Herm. Let's go Niners. Fuck you, man. What's that?
I was just reading that.
Fuck you.
Spanking the Giants. Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, good
Football's over with.
Erm's like, I hope the Niners kick the Cowboys' ass. Robbie gets back to Rockin' Robbie Live and has no more excuses for playoffs.
So, anyone else have anything they want to throw in there? Any honorable mentions, or should we get into the rating and then you could just throw your honorable mentions in at the end?
Yeah, we can do it like that, I think.
All right. Anyone in the chat, you know the drill. Throw your rating down below out of 1 to 5 slips, and we'll get to this. What's up, Fable? What do you think, my man? What are you thinking on your final thoughts and your rating, brother?
Yeah, Robbie's right. Probably the music is the weakest part of this movie, but that's it, man. Everything else is spot on. Pacing, writing, acting, story. Great story. Great, just a great little story, you know what I mean? And one of the best Stephen King adaptations. How can I not give it less than 5, man? 5 slips, man, for Misery. Hell yeah, Station 8.
Damn, y'all giving out some 5s lately, man.
That's 5. We give credit where credit's due, brother.
You think it's as good as Burial Ground? Holy shit!
Actually, I'm gonna disappoint you. Burial Ground's gonna be a little bit higher than what I'm gonna give this film, but
what the fuck?
That's
hell no.
But listen, hold on.
Hold on.
You gotta listen to my reason.
No.
Get that big cane
you gotta listen to my reason.
To shit.
First off, rating Burial Ground against this movie, it's a totally different movie, so it's off the board. But
there's actually quality.
This movie is gonna get for me because I'm a big Stephen King fan, and because it's not my favorite Stephen King movie. But I just said before, it's upper tier Stephen King. And if I'm gonna give my favorite and best Stephen King movie a 5 slip, this isn't it. Because I would give 5 slips to my favorite, which is Shawshank Redemption.
Down to 5, then,
which is Shawshank Redemption. Gets 5 because I love that. I think it's the best Stephen King adaptation, in my opinion, and for me. So I'm gonna give this a 4.75. It's only a little bit below that, but it's a great movie, upper class.
You try and fuck up the rating systems.
So 4.75 for me. It's a 5 in its genre against posers like Fulci. But go ahead.
Yeah.
He's starting with it again. You try and get these. You try and set them off, man. You try and set them off.
Coming soon, man. We're all going to gather together and talk about Fulci for 5 hours with Scarface.
A whole show dedicated to Fulci.
Fulci versus fucking whoever the fuck hack did fucking Burial Ground, right? We're gonna.
Did they even do more movies?
Burial Ground. He acknowledged he was a poser.
Killer. It's a good one, man. That's a good one.
Yeah. Anyways, go ahead. Okay. This is not a good one.
I'm up.
So 4.75 for me. Great.
Yes, sir. All right, Steph. What do you think, my brother?
You know what? I don't have it. I didn't see as much as you guys. I've seen it a few times over the years, but upon my rewatch, I definitely enjoyed it. I will say my biggest gripe is the whole James Caan is almost too badass for the role, and that takes me out of it just a little bit. Don't have to say it's not well acted. He doesn't pull it off, but me personally, it just took me. I just can't help but thinking like he's just waiting on you, bitch, to drop your guard. Pow, this is just who James Caan is. But beyond that,
it should have been Stephen King himself, so he could have been like, "Meet your shit," and we're like.
They hit it with a typewriter.
But it was well acted throughout the entire film. Shout out to the sheriff and his deputy wife. I think they had some of the best moments in the movie. Like specifically in the car where she puts his hand on his leg and he's like, in this car, woman, you are my deputy. She's like, well, this deputy wants to go home and be under the covers with their sheriff. It's just cute and shit. Like, and he's in the snow.
They are rooting for him to survive. I was rooting for that sheriff to survive.
You don't even get to see the reaction of the deputy after her sheriff died.
If they did that today, his wife would be there when it happened, and it would be like slow motion.
Another act.
Yeah.
Another in the movie. I'm telling you.
But that being said, I'm going to give it a 4.5. Everything is very well on, just the fact that it took me out of the movie a little bit, but beyond that, that's my only gripe. So I think a 4.5 with room to grow.
Nice. I have one question though, since you said you'd seen this a couple times, but this last time you were watching and you were having a little trouble. What did you think of it like before? Were you not
It was
a big fan of it before the
you know,
last
like
season?
I had seen it, and it was always just like a solid movie to me.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it in a few years, just beyond this rewatch. So
Yeah.
I was, you know, like when I was younger, I always like to say if it didn't have any fucking, action, there's very slim chance I was really gonna give it, an honest go.
Right.
But being an older adult in my mid-30s now, my tastes have changed, so
Right.
I see things from a different perspective.
I
Appreciate different
thought you
things.
were going to say tatas for a second.
No, I was waiting for that too.
When you're a kid, you don't notice subtleties.
Right.
And when you're adult, you notice all these subtleties. And this is a movie of subtleties. It's
Built up, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
When I was a kid, though, I was definitely noticing tatas. I'll give you that.
And the bush, yes.
That's why my mom wouldn't let me watch any movies with him in it.
Yeah, but I tell you,
She
you
knew
can
I was
watch.
seeking
I
those
don't understand
puppies
that
out.
concept that you can watch somebody getting their foot broken open with a mallet, but God forbid if a titty flies on the thing. It's horrible, man.
I mean, you might break your leg on a playground or some shit. That's
Right, just to prepare you. It's
Right.
really to prepare you.
Scarpad, you got a valid point there. Like, we're cool with like zombies ripping throats out, but if you show a titty or God forbid a penis, like imagine like
People
you put a
lose their
penis in a
mind.
penis, it's anathema, man. Like you're dead. You're not.
Or
He's
today, a titty and a penis.
Bruh, could you imagine? Like, bruh, I would like those are the movies I want. You know what I'm saying? Like
28 days later, you get a nice dick shot at the beginning.
you get a
He's laying on the hospital bed, bro.
I don't remember that.
It's a
Go
flaccid.
back and go back.
Yeah, it is.
We're talking about dicks too much. Anyway, let's move on.
Not that
I
there's
guess it's my
anything
turn.
wrong with that.
Yes, sir. What did you
Right,
think,
right.
brother?
I will say I really like this film. I think it's one of the best Stephen King adaptations. It's fun. The music throws it off. It's very funny. That cracks me up how funny this is, and I don't remember it being so goddamn funny, but it is. Like I was laughing all the way through, but not in a bad way, and so I liked it. It was a great experience. It's something I will watch again. It is like Scarpat said. I want to kind of riff on what he said. It ain't Shawshank Redemption. It ain't The Green Mile. It ain't even Christine for me, but it's really good. And y'all know me in 2023. I'm trying to take this a little bit more serious. I'm trying to get into that headspace that Dylan was when he started doing Letterboxd. And you know what I'm saying? 4.5.
I'm still
I
on
think,
Letterboxd, baby.
I think it's 4.5 all day long. I think that's a solid fucking score.
Yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
4.5.
Solid.
If it had some tatas or some pee-wee, maybe a 4.69. But
Maybe
it
if
doesn't.
they showed both legs getting hobbled.
Yeah, right. If they should,
I think me and you switched in 2023. I think you're getting like more serious, and I'm like more nostalgia now. I'm like,
yeah,
you know
we'll
I
see
love
what happens during Surf Ninjas. 4.5. I think it's a great movie, man. Great pace, a really great script, brilliant performances. The performances are what are the key to this movie. Anybody else, this movie could not be as good. You know what I'm saying? So I really like it. I think it's top notch. Not the best Stephen King adaptations. It's not The Shining. It's not Shawshank. But it's really good. And it ain't no Maximum Overdrive. So 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying.
I kind of like Maximum Overdrive.
You
Yeah,
can like
Maximum
Maximum
Overdrive is
Overdrive.
awesome.
If you say it's better than a Fulci film,
No,
I'm pissed.
no.
Yeah.
Well, I can say that I haven't seen a Fulci film.
You've seen New York Ripper. That's a Fulci.
Oh, that was Fulci. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Fulci.
All right.
So all you
Killer
know of
Clowns from
Fulci right
Outer
now is
Space
toe banging.
or Burial
Yes,
Ground?
yeah.
Which one?
She was down for it.
What's
then.
that?
Killer
Finger
Clowns
it.
from Outer Space or Burial Ground? Go.
Come on
Oh,
now,
Killer
that's
Clowns
easy.
from Outer Space, but it's a different
Yeah.
genre movie.
Even Scarpet knows this.
No, he doesn't.
You gotta put it up against what it's gonna be up by.
Yeah, but, I absolutely love this movie. I know everyone loves Shawshank. Everyone I actually probably would go Green Mile over Shawshank, but that's just my preference. Everyone
They're
loves
close,
they're
everyone
close.
loves what they love.
They
This
are
is
close.
Steph's horror
Yeah.
show now.
I'll go this over Green Mile, man. be honest.
I was just gonna say that this is
Ooh.
probably everyone loves Stand By Me, and that this is probably my favorite. I would pick this over like rewatchability. I would watch this over Shawshank, Green Mile, all
Really?
Stand
What
By
about
Me.
The Shining?
Yeah, 100%.
Get the fuck.
100%.
Shawshank is just
I'm
one of those
not-
movies if it's
I'm
on
not-
TV.
I love The Shining,
I
but
respect
I
you.
was never crazy about The Shining because you know.
I respect you even when you disappoint me, Dylan. Just so you know, that's love. That's real love.
Yeah, I love The Shining, no doubt. You know, Jack Nicholson is iconic in it, but you know, those movies have a bit of a different pacing to them where I can watch Misery over and over a lot more than I could like I've watched Shawshank and The Green Mile over and over. I would probably like my top 3 would probably be like Misery, Green Mile, then Shawshank. Honestly, that would be like, you know, but you know, Stand By Me, everyone loves that. It's been a while since I've seen that, but that one it's a lot different pacing than this one too. But I would go probably The Shining too. Like it would probably go those 3, then The Shining, and then maybe
no Pet Cemetery love from anybody. No Pet
Oh,
Cemetery.
The Mist?
I love me
The
no
Mist?
Pet
The Mist. Yeah, I love The Mist.
Yeah.
I love The Mist.
Cemetery.
But I think the 70s movies were trying to impose or infuse art into the movies too, like Shining and all that, and
What
try to
about
have
Carrie?
symbolism and stuff. So it was a
Where's-
different.
Speaking of 70s, where's Carrie sit, Dylan, for you?
Oh, Carrie's right up there too, man. You know, I just picked up the 4K, brother. I mean, it's tough. Like, dude, I mean, I love the
There's a lot of
Stephen
good
King
ones.
adaptations.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
I mean,
A lot of
dude,
classics.
I just bought the Carrie 4K, bro, and I own that movie twice. You know, like there's just certain ones that like it's just there's like that top 10 best Stephen King of all time, and it's like Misery, Green Mile, Shawshank, The Shining.
Is Maximum Overdrive number 10?
Stand By Me, no.
Yeah, most of the
Carrie,
80s movies are
You
done.
know,
That'd be up there for me.
Beautiful Things is another one that's really good.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else is there? It, you know, like I know the OG It has aged over time, but I absolutely, I mean, you cannot deny
It
what
Part
Tim
1.
Curry did. You cannot deny
Yeah.
how great Tim Curry is in that, even with how corny some of the acting is from the other people in that, you know.
I think I was just say Geraldine. I mean, not Geraldine, Christine. Christine. I think Christine's up there.
That's
I think
an easy
Christine's kind of
top
up there
10. That's
too.
an easy, oof.
You know,
Christine
but
is so
Christine's
damn
John Carpenter
Christine
too,
usually
man.
is in my
Shitter.
actually, like honestly, man, I would bump a couple like for a top 5. Christine's in my top 5.
Yeah.
Like I just like that's a dynamic duo right there. John Carpenter and Stephen King, baby. Like, oof,
Right.
that's a good one. You know, me
I mean,
and
Stanley
Fable, bro.
Kubrick and
That's one of me and Fable.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
lower
yeah.
there's lower tier.
That's one of our
I
favorites, man.
mean, but there's but even a good lower tier, bottom of the barrel Stephen King's like Pet Cemetery, Graveyard Shift. All those they still had some of their charm. And,
Oh yeah,
and
I
it was
love
still
Graveyard
watchable.
Shift.
You
I
know,
love
Cujo,
Graveyard Shift.
Cujo's another one in the A's.
His
Cujo,
work
yes.
has
Thinner.
attracted many good
Yeah, Thinner's
creators.
on. I think
His
Thinner's
work
definitely
is
one of those
inspiring.
ones people always forget about.
Always, man.
Cujo.
That's what like I wouldn't even say bottom of the barrel is like, you know, Maximum Overdrive and shit like that, but it's still fun and still has a little bit of
Thomas
charm to it.
Century.
There's
Yeah,
more
there you
the
go.
mid grade, the more the
Yeah.
like mid high.
No, like you got to kind of judge the.
Let's
you
not
gotta
forget
judge the-
that.
I think you have to judge the TV ones on their own merit. You can't.
No, it
group
was a
those-
movie.
You
Oh
can't
yeah,
group those with the because they had lower budgets and they had lesser casts. I don't know. I just
yeah. Which I love Salem's Lot and all that, but yeah, they had to, you know, go like 3-4 hours, so they had to throw in a lot of talking and stuff.
Well,
in
no,
between.
but you can do that with Stephen King. His books are all fucking 1,500 pages. So
Yeah.
a miniseries actually lends itself to a longer, probably a little bit more accurate portrayal of the book. Whereas a movie, you got to get it all in 2 hours. And,
Right.
you know, you guys have read Stephen King. He'll spend 5 chapters on talking about this gang and all this. I mean, his books are long, so you can get more into a miniseries. But
Which another big one, Creep Show, man. Even though those are like that's a short, you know, those are anthology.
Great
But
idea.
long story short, man, I'm giving it a 5, bro. This is probably one of my, if not my favorite, one of my all-time favorites. You know, it's right up there easily. It probably is like my all-time favorite. like you said, it's got all aspects. It's got the horror with the hobbling. It's got the thriller. It's just you're never bored by it. It's just the perfect, like, you know, it's the roller coaster where you're up and then you're down and then you go, and then that ending is just insane. You know, it's the perfect pacing. It's the perfect cinematography. The music might not be crazy outish, but I love that intro music, and then the ending music is great. But the score is just enough where you're not like, this is taking me out of it. It's enough where you don't really have to notice it, or it doesn't take you out of it. It just goes perfect with the movie. It's a 5 all day. I absolutely love it. It's a high rewatchability. I mean, I've watched it 3 times in the last 2 days. You know what I mean? And I watched it a couple days before then. I've watched the movie so much. I probably watched it 10 times in the last year, man, because I picked up the 4K. Like I said, I just watched it probably, you know, four times in the past week. Then I watched it like twice on the 4K. Then I compared the 4K to the Blu-ray when I first got it a couple months ago. So I've seen the movie a bunch just as past year. I've seen it in the last 5 years, probably 20 times. I've seen this movie a lot, man, and I never get sick of it. The joke, like, Kathy Bates is hilarious and crazy.
You're giving Verno a run for his money there, man.
Oh man, I always do. Vern don't know 2 times like I do, man. I do watch movies over and over and over until the damn Blu-ray fucking gets too hot. But yeah, man, I love it. Absolutely fantastic. And let's see, we got a 4.5 from Sammy, solid movie. 4.5 from Gary North. We got 4.5 from Big Herm. The lady scared the crap out of me. 0.9. Scared the crap out of him as a kid. Helena says it was compelling, but I can't see myself wanting to watch it over and over again. So 4, it was obviously great, but it won't make my top favorite list. For sure.
Respect.
And let's see. Yeah, man. Some people, you know, some people don't want to watch this one over and over again. Some people aren't going to watch like Shawshank and Green Mile over and over again. I'm just that, like, I grew up in that era where I can literally watch stuff over and over again if I love it enough, you know. But let's see, 4.75 from Evan. Nice little background, bro. 4.5 from Kirby. 4.5 slips here. And Dick shots are automatically 5.69.
That's right, they are.
Two Gun gives it a 4.50 slips. Nice. And let's see. Fucking porn bots don't fucking matter.
The porn bots say they like the movie 4.0.
Oh, man. You already know Storm of Century.
You know, the porn bot said 4.69. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Sleep is great.
Yeah.
Sammy.
And what's cool about this movie, too, is that it's this good, and we know what happens. But imagine it's your first time, and you're seeing her weird stretch, not expecting her to weird stretch the way she does and do the things she does. It's like, it's got to be crazy.
I have not watched Dr. Sleep yet. Every time I go to watch it, I have it on 4K, but it's not the director's cut. And Dylan says you got to watch the director's cut. So I can go on and watch it on iTunes, but I have to watch it in standard definition. I don't know what to do.
That's the only way you can watch the director's cut.
I don't think you need to watch the director's cut. I think I did. I don't know. It's just longer.
So you suggest I should watch the non-director's cut and just
watch it however you want to, Scarpad. If you paid for it,
I've told him multiple times though that that's the only way to watch.
That's what he said, and that's why I've been scared, and I haven't watched it yet.
There's no reason to be scared. Just watch the director's cut and then watch the regular, or just watch the regular
in standard definition.
Dude, it's a brand new movie that came out in 2020. But it's like gonna look gorgeous.
As opposed to this. No.
It's gonna look regular.
No. Standard definition DVD is 480p.
It's not
Blu-ray
a DVD.
1080p.
It's standard definition Blu-ray, bro.
Oh. No, there's no such thing as standard
definition. Blu-ray is not standard def. Yeah, I'm with Scarpad.
It's a freaking Blu-ray. Just watch it and stop overthinking it.
All right, we'll see.
4.5 from Larry Moore too.
He's trying to Scarpa's trying to make up for Burial Ground.
You overthink these standard definition shit too much.
Man,
It's gonna look good. It's gonna look good, man.
you put
It's a
SDMA
2020
77, man. It's not
They
a
didn't
pretty sight.
film. They didn't film the director's cut to look different as hell from the 4K.
Bro, you tell me the director's cut's only 16-bit, bro, but Sega's 32, man. They got the 32X, man.
I'm telling you, bro. Just watch the regular 4K then, bro. I was only saying everyone says that
goddamn watch it,
the
Scarpad.
director's cut is the
Just
way
watch
to
it.
watch.
Just watch it.
Because there's extra stuff with like with the Shining Hotel or with the Overlook Hotel and shit. That's why
the
it's
whole
worth
third
it.
act, right? The whole third. I'll tell you this: watch Dr. Sleep however you want, and then go check out our PCP movie night from last year when we talked about Dr. Sleep for our great conversation that we had. So there you go.
Maybe I'll do that.
A little bit of a plug.
Yeah, I don't understand it though, because I've watched the director's cut and I don't see any difference in the picture from the 4K.
No, see, I won't do it.
And like I said, man, the director's cut is on the Blu-ray, so you can buy the Blu-ray with the director's cut. So how is that going to be a DVD?
We're spending more time on this than we were. Whether or not
we already finished. We're at a 5 from me and Fable. We're at a 4.75 from Scarpad. We're at a 4.5 from Link, 4.5 from you, and with everyone's ratings in the chat, we're at a 4.69, brother.
Nice.
Hell yeah. But yeah, just get that shit out the way, Scarpad, and watch the damn director's cut. Stop sitting there thinking about it.
I am gonna go and watch it on my cell phone tonight and just don't worry about it.
You're gonna watch it on your cell phone after complaining about talking about that standard definition.
Blu-ray, yeah. No, don't worry about it. We'll be fine.
That's what I've been trying to tell you, brother. So yeah, what do we got next week, bro? We got us. That's how I'm feeling, Robbie. My heart's just jumping out of my chest. This man, bro. This man.
We'll have a discussion about 640 by 480 as opposed to 1024 by 1920.
Yeah, but 4.469p is the best, right?
Right.
Man. It's progressive.
That conversation is more meant for like Silent Night, Deadly Night Blu-rays than goddamn Dr. Sleep, which was put out in 2020.
All right, we'll have to talk about it. Robbie knows. He understands.
No
Robbie gets me. He knows what I'm talking about, man.
He doesn't.
Oh, he does.
I get it. I just think he misread an S as an H. I don't fucking know. Like, why would they put Dr. Sleep out in standard definition for anything? Like, it doesn't make sense. I don't.
Well, to be fair, they are putting Terrifier 2 on VHS, so anything can fucking happen.
That's true.
That's
I'm gonna wait for
Dr.
Sleep. Maybe I'll see if I get Dr. Sleep on fucking VHS and I'll watch it. I'm gonna wait for that one.
That would be really cool, actually.
That'll be interesting to see how that looks. But that's what I'm saying. Like the freaking Dr. Sleep Blu-ray, it says includes the director's cut, and it doesn't say it's a DVD or anything. It's on the Blu-ray.
It's on the Blu-ray, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't get what it should
but it's
be.
Not on,
I have to look at that 4K.
I don't have the Blu-ray though. I have the 4K. And
He's saying he doesn't have the director's cut physically, and the only way he can find it to stream is in standard, is what he's saying, Dylan. Right? Is that what you're saying, Scarpad?
That's right.
Okay.
No, man. He does own it because I'm looking at it right here. I'm looking at it right here.
That's
and it's
the 4K. It doesn't have to go down. Put that box down so we can see what's in it.
I see it. It says on Blu-ray.
On Blu-ray, right.
So his gripe about it, Robbie, is that he doesn't want to watch the director's cut.
I want to watch it in 4K, not on Blu-ray.
Well, Blu-ray's not standard definition.
No, that's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying.
But 4K is 21 by, and it's got HDR. It's got Dolby Vision. It makes a big difference. Look,
can you clip this out, Dylan?
You have the movie on a very good 4K.
I'm gonna
very good Blu-ray. It's still gonna look better on the very good 4K.
I need a paper bag.
And you watch stuff.
You understand what I'm saying? It's like I could watch the 4K. Why would I watch the Blu-ray? It's inferior.
You're telling everybody to watch Plex on their fucking phones, and here you are.
I'm not talking about Plex. I'm just talking. Look.
I'm going to clip this out for you, Dylan, so you can upload this conversation on its own.
Yeah, that sounds better. That's what I'm saying.
Nice.
Blu-ray is not Betamax quality. Thank you, Gary.
Right, but it's also not 4K quality.
Dude, how much shit do you watch that is in Blu-ray quality? You don't watch everything in 4K.
But if you given a choice to watch the Blu-ray you bought or the 4K you bought or the Blu-ray you bought, you're gonna pick it on 4K before you pick it on Blu-ray, right?
Dude, not if I want to watch the director's cut.
Well, that's the kerfuffle, you know.
It depends on the
regular
transfer.
cut, bro.
Why don't you
All right.
watch both, Scarpad?
Or that. That's what you should do,
Yeah.
like I've done.
But then,
And
which one do I watch first?
You watch the theatrical first because that's how everybody saw it first.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, that's fine because that's 4K.
There you go. Problem solved.
My God, that's terrible.
Woo. Only took us 20 minutes. Robbie, so what do we got coming next Saturday, my brother?
Next
We got-
Saturday, we got Boom, Tourist Trap. I've never seen this.
Oh, you've
Yeah.
never seen that one.
It's got the
I've
rifleman
never
in it.
seen this either.
Nice, dude. That would be a good one.
Check
I think
Connors,
you'll
baby.
have fun with this, man. It's a full moon. It's a full moon movie produced by Charles Band and directed by David Schmoller, I believe.
Was it like the first movie they ever did?
It
Pretty
might
close.
be.
I think it is.
I don't know. But I want to say MVD also worked on the film too.
Yeah, you can MVD these nuts.
Yeah, buddy. But yeah, next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Definitely gonna want to check this one out. It is if not my favorite full moon feature. I always forget though if this was a full moon movie originally or if they picked this one up. But
this was a
produced
full
by
moon.
Charles Band.
It was full moon originally, yeah.
And it's not. I got me this nice little VHS pack on it.
Ooh.
With the unrated, I love
That's
it.
dope.
I'm bummed though it came a little damaged and it sold out, so I couldn't get a better copy. But
You realize that's in standard definition, right?
oh man,
That's only pretending to be in state edition.
But yeah, it even has a Stephen King quote: "The film's wields an eerie, spooky power." But yeah,
watching
this
in
is one
4K.
where because it kind of came with the unrated cut on it, so that's why I wanted it. And then it comes with a little goofy, one of those. What are those little 4-inch figures? Oh man, but yeah, man, it'd be a fun one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's Chuck Connors, baby.
yeah, Mr. Slauson, which I haven't busted this one out in a while, man. It's just been it used to just sit up back there, but yeah, it's definitely a really creepy film, man. I'm excited for you guys to check it out.
It's a
So
good one.
So that's next Saturday, and also this Monday, Scarpad will be reviewing Killer Clowns from Outer Space on his channel, Scarpad's Domain, at 7:45 Eastern. And then Robbie will be doing a follow-up right after Scarpad's show, and he'll be doing, what is it, sir? Taxi Driver. Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
More Martin
Taxi
Scorsese classics.
Scarpad, you
Better
guys start sending me your thumbnails through my email so I can start sharing them here too. But yeah, dude, super excited for Taxi Driver. Fable's going to be joining us, and Bruno's going to be there, and it's going to be a good, fun show. Our very first Scorsese film on PCP Movie Night, believe it or not.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
We spent too much time covering shit like Surf Ninjas and fucking Horror Fest and March Madness, right?
Right.
Right.
So, and then before Saturday, before Tourist Trap, Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Scarpad and I will be reviewing 4 more Twilight Zone episodes. What is it? 9, 10, 11, and 12 we'll be reviewing. So come check us out next Friday. And then Saturday, you will not want to miss Tourist Trap. Hopefully Vern can make it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Be nice to review another movie that Robbie hasn't seen and hear what he has to think about it. So what do we have for show and tell tonight, fellas?
Can I go first? because I got to dip out, but I want to go first so I can get this out. I want to do my show and tell because I got some cool stuff. All right, so I went to the mall this week, and I went to a Hot Topic and wasn't planning on spending money, but goddamn it, they made me spend money. My buddy Chris P was there, so shout out to Chris. I know like 4 Chris P's. Anyway, I got this cool notebook.
My girl has
Oh, nice.
Look at that Scream notebook, right? And so,
ooh, that's sweet.
Yeah, and it's got these like blood splatters to divide each little section, and each little section has like a little image from the movie.
Oh, dude, I gotta give me a notebook like that. That's what I use to like do my. I don't like doing stuff on my phone, so I always, obviously, when I send you pictures and stuff, I always handwrite all my stuff for like the horror show and everything.
Haven't gotten a horror T-shirt in a while, but I had to pick this one up, y'all. Look at this.
Oh, badass.
Oh, dude, my sister got me that one for Christmas.
You have this one?
Yeah.
Well, we got to wear it on the same night when we do Scream 6 or some shit.
Hell yeah.
Scream sucks.
I got the same one, the tarot card. That's the tarot card, right?
Tarot card fucking Ghostface, man.
Hell yeah. Yup.
Oh, I had to get that. All right.
That one's a good one.
So Sam Fett, our buddy in the chat, came up and saw me today. I just want to show some of the things he gave me. For these were belated Christmas gifts, he said, but they're just awesome. So thank you so much. That's the full set of the Marvel Masterpiece Season 2, Series 2.
Oh, wow.
Full set right there.
Oh, wow,
I think I have the full set. If not, if I do, I'll pass it off to someone.
Shout out Sammy.
Yeah, Sam's awesome. Check this out. He got this for me.
Man, he's awesome.
This was on my my Amazon wish list, but I got Slaughter High.
Oh, that's what I need. I need that sucker.
Oh, bro, I got a Vestron you don't have? Shit.
You do.
I think Sam follows the channel. Sam knows me, and he told me you don't have this, so I got it for you. And I think what he meant to say is I didn't think you were going to buy this on your own, so I got it for you. So I got the new Batman film.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. That's nice. And then this one, I got this tarot action figure. It's pretty hot, right? Pretty steamy, right?
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
She's yeah. I told him I was like, I'll gladly display that. And Sam loves Toonie Terrors, right? And I don't collect Toonie Terrors. And he's like, I know you don't collect these, but I do. And I wanted you to have this one. And what's funny is I had just gotten that Halloween 3 set from Perry. What's up, Perry? How you doing? Fuck you. Anyway, I don't know why I'm on this Perry. It's cracking me up. No, Perry, I love you. So Sam gave me this.
Sick.
So I thought that was.
I always wanted to collect that. Get that one. There was a couple Toonie Terrors I like, but they're a little pricey at times, man.
They're expensive.
But yeah, that's what I got. So some great gifts from Sam and Perry. I love you. And I had to get that Scream shirt and that Scream notebook. I thought that was great. What a great show. I love y'all. Keep it horror. You know what I'm saying? Stay sharp.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that Scream notebook's sick, bro.
Man.
Sick
Yeah, I really like
that Ghostface shirt, brother.
I'm gonna fill it up with notes about how much Scream 5 and 6 suck. Anyway,
Just
I'm gonna have to get me
keep
one of those
watching.
just for my horror shows and everything. Hell yeah.
Baby. Cool stuff.
Fable, my brother, did you have anything you want to show off tonight, my man?
Yeah, man. I got a couple of AOKs this week. Pretty cool.
Hell
you know,
yeah.
community always looking out for the kids. Love it.
Hell
love it.
yeah.
So first I'll just show off some comic books that I got this week. I only got a few variants, but I got some cool ones. So I got the Nightwing 100.
Oh, nice.
Acetate cover. Bruno Redondo.
Nice.
Love it. Acetate, you know.
Looking good.
I got the Wasp #1 variant, the Russell Dauterman with all the different wasps.
Oh, yeah.
I absolutely love when Russell Dauterman does these kind of covers. I collect them. So, hell yeah. Happy to have that. And then, Dylan, you probably really like this. I got the latest Walking Dead Deluxe variant, which features Eugene. And
Ooh,
that traitor.
Yeah. And it's done by the legendary Art Adams.
in the back.
Right? And
Yes, sir.
a week ago it came out with what do you call it? Abraham.
Abraham. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that goes
hell
this way.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Man, I wish I was still
Right?
picking those up on physical.
Connects.
Oh,
to the glare.
sweet.
Yeah. And also, the week before that, they had Rosita Oh no, wait.
Oh shit.
Rosita. There we go.
Oh, they
No,
had
no.
Rosita. They had
Hold on.
Rosita.
I'm messing up here, guys. Yeah.
I was just
Rosita,
talking in the
man.
talking to
Nice.
Scarpad, and I'm like,
Isn't that awesome?
why does she always talk normal in the show, and then when she goes to say her name or her daughter's name, she says in an accent. She goes, "My name is Rosita, and my daughter is Coco." But everything else I say is completely normal until I say Rosita, Coco.
Probably pronunciation.
Yeah,
I know,
Yeah.
but it's just so funny.
Cause I mean, cause you know, people. Go on. My bad.
No, go ahead.
No, I see people will see my name and say Steven, Stefan, which is fine because those are all, but I pronounce it Stefan.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
think it's,
I
I
know,
accidentally
but
called you
I just
Stephanie.
wouldn't go like Stefan.
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 That would be a little funny. Oh,
I
Stefan.
got a AOK from my brother Kevin, Entropy Comics, who oddly enough I was introduced to through Dylan, watching Dylan early in the days. He used to do a lot of streams for Kevin, and he sent me an AOK, so that's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, he sent me We Only Find Them When They're Dead #1.
Nice.
With a few variants for that issue. Pretty dope. Daniel DiNiccolo. I think one of these is Casper Wingard. Pretty dope. And he also sent me War of the Realms, which is a series I never got to read. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Got
Nice.
Art Adams covers on them. So I love that. I didn't know Art Adams did the covers to the series. So we got all 6 here.
You got the
Sorry
first
for the
appearance
glare.
of John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic.
There you go. Worth it. Yeah, so that's pretty dope. And also came with a few goodies. So he got me this cool
That's
Saga
sick.
Oh,
Hell
sweet.
yeah.
for the boxes, right? And got this cool Barbaric Axe to Grind bookmark here,
Nice.
right? Sorry for
Oh,
the glare
nice.
again. Yeah. Some We Live trading cards, the comic book We Live.
Shit.
Pretty
They
dope.
came out with those. That's sick. Yeah.
Yeah, me neither. Like crazy. Yeah, man. So that was from my brother Kevin, man. So thank you, Kevin. Entropy and Comics. You're the man, bro. Love you. And then I also got another AOK from my brother Scarpad. So thank you, Scarpad. And this one, Scarpad got me a little bit with this AOK because, it's cool that he got me an AOK, but it's just the thought that went into it kind of that really impressed me, Scarpad. So thank you so much. And what he actually ended up giving me, guys, is probably the greatest slip or steel case of all time, right? It might be top 5. Over here on Dylan's Horror Show, we hold our slip cases and our steel books to high regard, right? So Scarpad got me this Transformers, right? Part 1 DVD set, right? And, I'm not a big fan of the Michael Bay movies. And I think Scarpad kind of knows that because he wrote me a note here and he said, sure, the movie ain't great, but the case is cool. And he ain't lying, man, because let me show you this thing. This is probably the first ever transforming case ever, guys.
That's sick as fuck.
How cool
Yo, that's
I remember they
is
used to
that?
do shit like that with the DVDs.
That's badass.
This might be in the running for the greatest case flip, whatever the hell it is of all time.
That's
And of course, on the back,
crazy.
you got
That's
both
sick.
I thought that was cool.
That
So,
is incredible.
not the greatest movie like you said, but man, this is going right there with the toys. So Scarpad, thank you so much. This is freaking awesome. I will be displaying this thing just like this, brother. So that's pretty dope. And he also gave me a couple little extra goodies with that. He got me this and I don't know how he knows I love these movies so much, but Jesus, he got me the Fly.
Nice.
Goldblum's The Fly sticker right there.
Oh, that's an awesome sticker.
Yeah, from Fright Rags, man. That is sick. And another absolute favorite of mine. We just reviewed it. They Live, man. Look how beautiful that sticker is, man. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And of course, a nice trading card from Fright Rags. A Vampira, I think this lady is.
Mm-hmm.
Dope. And so Scarpad, thank you, my brother. That was awesome, man. You touched me with that one, especially you know how we are with the slips and the cases around here. That might be the best case of all time. Transforming case. Beat that, guys. Beat that. I dare you.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing, I got one more thing.
My bad, dog.
I got some reissues in. Speaking of Transformers, you know I love my Transformers, and they released these reissues, and they're really cool. They're a little different than your standard reissue, because if you know anything about old '80s toys, they sometimes didn't look like the cartoon at all. I mean, we accepted it because we were kids, but they didn't really look like the cartoon. So that was the case with a lot of Transformer toys in the '80s, right? They didn't really look like the cartoon, but we accepted it. So they decided to re-release some old figures from the 80s, but they actually recolored them to match the cartoon, which is totally different. And I'll give you an example. First, I got a Hot Rod here.
Oh, nice.
Totally new packaging, right? Beautiful painted artwork. And this is the figure. And if you ever remember the original toy, it did not have these colors. The colors were all wrong. It had a bunch of stickers on it. It did not look like this. So this is a cool because it like opens a whole new avenue of toys, right? Like recoloring old toys to look more like how they were supposed to look.
Right.
And I also got Starscream.
Oh, sick.
Hell yeah. Same thing. That's the old school toy right there. But now it's colored to match his animation counterpart. So beautiful, beautiful reissue. Something unique, something different. Yeah, man. That's my haul, man.
Station.
Hell yeah, bro.
Are those the first at the line? Those reissues?
Yes. There's the first
nice.
these new colored them correctly reissues. I think it's so cool. Can't wait to see what else they come out with.
Hell jam. Steph, did you have anything you want to show, brother?
Not this week. Not this week.
Alrighty, my brother. Scarpad, what's up, brother?
Hey, well, I have a good mix actually this week of stuff that finally came in. I think I'm a huge Jerry Anderson fan. I love Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet, of course, Space 1999. It's a great book I got in called Maybe There, the Lost Stories from Space 1999, and it has stories that were supposed to be written as screenplays that didn't make it, so they adapted them to the book, and it's gonna be interesting to read some of the lost stories from that show. The other thing I got this week was I need to get this up heaviest thing. The omnibus of Batman, the Silver Age omnibus, Volume 1.
The original Batwoman.
Yeah, I love these omnibuses, especially if it's classic Batman stuff. So I'm trying to get a lot of those if I can. And one more of my favorite series came out. That's the EC trade paperbacks. This is Weird Fantasy #1. They've been releasing these in drips and drabs, the horror ones, and now they're moving on to some of the science fiction ones and the crime ones. I love these oversized ED trades. They're really nice.
Heck yeah.
And then what I've been trying to get is a
Slumber Party Massacre shirt too, by the way.
Oh, there you go. Driller killer, man. Pizza. So I've been trying to get is I've been getting back into vinyls. I want to start trying to collect soundtracks and horror movies. I used to do it all the time when I was a kid back in the 80s and 70s. So I picked a few soundtracks up this week. And this one, interesting enough, is going to be on the show Monday night. This is the Killer Clowns from Outer Space vinyl.
Oh, man, that's a good soundtrack to have.
And this is from Wax.
Wow.
I think it's Wax
It came in.
It
You
did.
thought it got lost.
It came in today. And
That's
it's a 2-disc set. And, of course, you're going to have
Dude, those horror vinyls, they
like
do those things so good, man.
And of course, it's colored vinyl. So this is the purple one.
Oh, that's sick.
And then it also has a pink one in there as well. And a
Isn't that
gatefold.
blue?
This one was blue and the other one is pink.
I thought you said purple for a second.
The trouble right now is records are fucking getting crazy, man. And I'm not sure.
Dude, aren't they expensive now?
Even regular records, if you go buy a record at the store, so that's why I don't buy them. They're like $40. They get used, and this was like $40 for that.
And then they make it. I mean, they put like gorgeous artwork on them and stuff.
Oh, I love
it. $40.
And then of course, too bad Robbie left here. I found this, and I knew I had to have it. 45th anniversary of Profondo Rosso, Deep Red Goblin soundtrack on vinyl.
Oh wow!
I've already listened to this, and this sounds unbelievable. Really good. So there it is, Deep Red on vinyl.
That's sick. Robbie would have fanboyed out on that.
And then this is another one I picked up. If you listen to it on iTunes or wherever you subscribe or whatever, this is pretty damn good. John Carpenter anthology, and this is John Carpenter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, John Carpenter's rock band doing his theme. So they're kind of rockified versions of the music, but they're really good. The stuff on here for Halloween and Escape from New York, it's a really good soundtrack.
Hell yeah. He did a couple other albums.
Yeah, he's done like 4 or 5 albums with his band here.
They're good.
And then
I got
leads me into the final one I picked up. I knew I had to have it. The Return to the Living Dead vinyl.
Oh man, that's another dude. Return and the Killer Clowns, those are two fantastic.
And listen, remember this one is of course Blood Reds.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's dope.
And I didn't show up with the Deep Red one is also a red splatter vinyl. That's kind of cool.
Those are really good ones to have.
Yeah, because they're all kind of unique soundtracks. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
The only one I'd like to get now is Terrifier 2, but it's not out on anything.
Maybe eventually.
All right, so that leads me into a figure I picked up, finally came in. That's the Return to the Living Dead Tarman, 1/6 scale Tarman figure.
That is fire. Oh, yeah.
And if you're wondering what he looks like, here he is. See if I can pick him up.
Wow.
With his brain.
Dope. Hell yeah.
And this comes with 2 different heads.
I know I sent that to him. I knew he would pick it up if I sent him the link to it.
2 different heads, one with a moving mouth and a little bit different. And what somebody's doing, and I can't wait to see, they're going to be coming out on the internet, is they're going to mold a 3D printed barrel for this guy so that you can kind of put some of them coming out of a barrel like it was in the movie. And I definitely have to get that.
Hell yeah.
So that's Tarman. And then this came in today, NECA Ultimate Count Dracula. This is the color version. They're also going to be doing a black and white version coming out later on this year. And there he is.
Nice.
Yeah, which is funny. We keep meaning to ask Robbie about how the colored ones are selling, because I told him now that we were talking about, I wonder why they're putting the coloreds out first, because I think the coloreds aren't selling as good as the black and white.
And now they're making the black and white ones more of a variant.
Where the black and white Dracula looks a lot different. Like comes with a top hat, comes with the bat. And,
exactly. Well, they got to do something to sell both of them, you know.
Right, because before they were exactly the same. Just one was black and white.
There's so little Return of the Living Dead stuff out there. That's probably why I got him. He's a little overpriced.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So finally some DVDs and Blu-rays. I got from Vinegar Syndrome. I got Don't Answer the Phone. Of course, it comes with a great heavy-duty slip. They all do, and there's the artwork. But Don't Answer the Phone. And then I got Graduation Day. Look at that axe.
Yeah, Robbie'd love that. Some Linnea Quigley.
And then I picked up, and then thank Dylan for this one. I wasn't even gonna get it. I didn't even know it was a 1985 movie, but it is Attack of the Beast Creatures. I mean, I
knew you would love that one.
I've never heard of it. But
really? I just sounded right up your alley.
And that is a great cover.
Did you watch the trailer or anything for it?
No, I haven't watched the trailer for it yet.
You just bought blind by?
And then I got the Lost films of Herschel Gordon Lewis. We watched one of his movies. And these are mostly skin flicks. I mean,
That's another one I showed you.
Right there.
After all your Herschel Gordon Green.
This
killers.
movie I finally broke down and bought, believe it or not, on DVD. Because as soon as I did, now it's going to come out in 4K. Pink Floyd, The Wall, I finally picked that up.
Is it coming out in 4K?
No, it's not that
should say,
good.
oh, I got
But
you.
it probably will now. Because I bought the
Maybe.
DVD.
You never know.
But it's a
Stuff
pretty
like
nice.
that is very rare.
It's a pretty
to
nice
get.
package, so that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I started picking up with the movie Robbie doesn't like, the 2022 Scream Steelbook. And it started to come out. I got 1 and 2 coming, pre-ordered.
Yeah, I cannot wait for my first one to come.
And that's
I gotta get that second one still. They
a
gotta
movie
do
that
3 and
a movie
4.
that I understand some people will be watching later on tonight. Intruder, director's cut. Look at that, the head.
Hell yeah.
A classic, the movie MASH, the movie, not the TV show. I got this one for Verno. He wanted to see Don't Look Now with Julie Christie and Donald Sutherland, so he was able to watch it. A movie I'd never really seen, but I heard it was good, Student Bodies, which is kind of a comedy horror, I guess.
I've never heard of that one.
A classic, Rosemary's Baby.
Hell yeah. Was that real cheap?
Yeah, it's like $6-7 because, of course, it's bare bones. But it actually does have a digital, so. A movie I've been holding off to get because I was going to get the 4K, but this is always cheap, so I haven't seen this, Hereditary.
That's a good one. Yeah, it's always like $5.
So I want to pick that up. This is a Video Nasty Night School from Britain. 80s Video Nasty.
Yeah.
And finally, I haven't heard this one either. Final Exam.
Yeah, I've never seen that either.
Another 80s slasher there, but good cover.
Yeah.
And let me show one more thing. I got my books in, and this is my favorite Walking Dead cover, number 49 of the deluxe. Oh, look at that.
Nice.
I think this might be a variant cover. They always put out like 5 variants. So
yeah, right. All righty.
Everybody else left.
Nice. Well, I only got a couple things, not really much. I went over to my mom's and she had an extra one of these that she had bought my brother, and so she said I could have one of those. What are these? The VHS cover Funko, which they're supposed to do a Killer Clowns one that I really want bad. It's like a Walmart.
I wonder how those bigger Funkos have been selling.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a regular size Funko. It's really just they put it.
Oh yeah, they have those big ones, the big huge.
I know, man. That's too much for me. But this they just literally put. It's just another way to sell them. They're just literally putting a 4-inch Funko on a stand in a stand. It comes with a little stand, which they always do, and then they put it up, just like a big background. But I mean, it's like a nice plastic box, But it comes with like the ultimate cover because it looks like so far all these that I've seen are Walmart because I also have Walmart. My mom got me a Halloween one, so it looks like so. And the Killer Clowns one is also a Walmart exclusive. So it seems that Walmart's doing the VHS covers, which just them kind of labeling VHS covers. I kind of like that. So and plus they've all been horror ones. So I think they did a Killer or National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation one too. So I got that.
That Jason one is kind of creepy because he looks like a baby.
Jason?
Yeah, the one that the Michael Myers one is creepy.
Oh yeah, I know. It glows in the dark. It's pretty cool. But I really want that Killer Clowns one too. That was the first one I didn't even know about the Michael Myers one. Ordered this a couple months ago during Black Christmas or Black Friday and finally got it. It was like $8. Labyrinth. So got that to go with my 4K Dark Crystal, and super happy to have this because I couldn't get the slip on the regular Scream Factory, so I went with the 4K Steelbook.
Oh, I love that cover. Cover.
This cover is so good, man.
It is. I have that like you do. I have it on fucking Blu-ray and 4K and the Steelbook.
Yeah.
Like how many times I gonna buy that fucking movie?
All right, dude, it's worth it. But I would, if I could have got this regular 4K with the slip, I would have kept it and probably still got this just because of how good. Like I own Army of Darkness, 3 times. I have the Steelbook, I have the regular 4K with the slip, and then I have the regular Blu-ray Scream Factory that went out of print. But yeah,
who doesn't own Army of Darkness 3 times? I mean, come on.
I know, same thing.
I know. So that that's one of my all-time favorites.
Oh yeah.
So then I own that Army of Darkness 3 times, and I own They Live twice. And then I got Cloverfield, real cool slip, one of these clear slips where it's got the camera image, Matt Reeves classic, and then you got pull it out, and it's got kind of the camera film for one, and you pull it out, and then it's got the image of New York being kind of taken over and the explosions with the monster. We were going through a little deep dive recently. I was watching this and then 10 Cloverfield Lane, and I didn't get a really chance to finish Cloverfield Paradox because that's kind of a little bit harder one to get through. But
you didn't miss much.
No, I know. But and then I was watching Overlord as well, and then speaking of you getting a Vinegar Syndrome package this week or today, you got yours. I'd gotten one from shout out my man Zach. Even though I don't think I saw him in the chat today, Saturday. I wish he was here to see me open these. But I got two releases from Vinegar Syndrome. There's a couple more I gotta get, man. It's once I open these and saw them, I'm like, it's been a while. So I think the only Vinegar Syndrome I have that has a slip or anything is the Beastmaster release with that big hard box and the slip. But the only other ones I have, I do have Fade to Black, which is a beautiful slip as well. But man, you open these and you see the slip and how gorgeous and how well made these are. The slips are so thick because I'm like, dude, they're just so expensive. It's hard to get them, man. But when I open these and see, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get that.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I got the Amityville one, and
I gotta get the Amityville.
It's just you see them, and you pay like $30 for a movie, but you don't mind paying it.
Once you get it, like when you buy them,
I'm like, a case.
But once you get them, I'm like, holy shit, dude, these are incredible, man. They look so good. So I got to get that From Beyond, Amityville on 4. There's all 4Ks.
And let me tell you, Amityville looks so good on 4K.
I know, because he told me, he's like, which 2 do you want? And it was so hard for me because I knew I wanted the one automatically, which I'm going to show. And then the second one, it was hard for me to pick. But I went with one that I hadn't owned yet because I was like, I got to get something that, the one I got, I already own on Blu-ray, but I needed to get this 4K version. But the first one, I was having trouble picking because I never owned was Incredible Melting Man, which is one that you showed me.
There we go, baby. Good.
I was never able to get that old Scream Factory Blu-ray, so I was like, let me go.
That's a great case. I love that
already,
case.
dude. Beautiful slip, man. Shout out Zach, man. Literally, thank you so much.
Yeah, that looks crazy.
Yeah, man, with the black slip and then the black case, this just looks so good. Dude, these slips are just so well made, dude. It's hard to tell, but they're so thick, good, man. And then they have they got the lettering on the side is raised. It's just, they look so good. I mean, the artwork is just so nice and clear. So dude, I got after I saw open these, I'm like, damn, Zach. I was like, now I gotta get the Amityville. I gotta get that From Beyond 4K. That one I told him not to worry about yet because I was like, it's a pre-order. So, but there's other. What was the? Oh, I want to get that Invisible Maniac. That's a good ass film too.
I've never seen that.
You haven't seen that? You picked it up, I thought.
No, I got it on the other thing, but I didn't buy the movie.
Oh, I thought you did get the 4K.
No.
I'm tripping then. Must be because it was on
Pluto
or whatever.
Yeah.
But so this is one that Scarp had been telling me for a while. I just had to own because he knows how much I love the film. So this was the one I told him I had to have off rip when he gave me my choice to pick 2. It was Incredible Melting Man that I had trouble on picking because I was like, do I want Incredible Melting Man or Amityville or From Beyond? So I went with Incredible Melting Man. But the first one I could not. It was no question I wanted. Y'all know how much I love it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's up there like bestest of the year, I think.
Dude, seriously, I popped it in as soon as I got it. I mean, look at This is a hard shell. Hey, I'm putting a run for that money, Dragon, bro. With freaking dude, it's got the hardcover
Yeah,
case.
but does it transform?
It doesn't transform.
Does
It
it
does.
change
So you
into
still
something
got
else?
me, but it's got the hardcover case, and then it
That's beautiful,
also
bro.
has a
Oh,
so it's a double
nice.
slip,
Yeah, it's
man.
double slip, man. The double slip is something new.
Wow.
Double slip,
They
man.
come
Look
with
at
the double slip.
the embossed chainsaw. The chainsaw is like embossed. I love this old.
I'm waiting for somebody to come out now with the triple slip. You gotta have it.
Right. The only bummer is that I wish that they did like a different artwork for this because
Well, that is the poster though. So.
I know, but I just would honest. There was an overseas Europe post art which looked more like this, I think, which I kind of wish that they did for the slip. It's no biggie,
Right.
but dude, it looks. I went with this over the because it was either this for the artwork or this, and I went with this because I love the Breakfast Club style, and I just think it looks better with the black.
Right.
But yeah, dude, this 4K is absolutely gorgeous, man. 3-disc set. You know, Vinegar Syndrome just absolutely does their releases justice, man. They go all out. Honestly, man, I'd say Vinegar Syndrome is probably the best company. I love Scream Factory and what they do, but with their 4Ks, their 4Ks have been. Besides, I'd say their
Vinegar Syndrome is a step above
gorgeous,
Scream Factory,
but their 4Ks have been very lackluster because when you buy one, if I bought a 4K, this is how they look. It comes with just the regular slip and the same exact artwork. At least I can reverse this artwork if I want. This comes with, and the slip isn't nearly as good. I like the slips better on the Blu-rays. The 4K slips come with that 4K strip, which you guys know I hate. They always come with that gray strip across, and it's the same artwork. You can't reverse the artwork, which I don't like. It's not like this slip is so much nicer made. Like the material they're using for these is so much better. You got the embossed.
They know about the slips. They watch Dylan.
They know, and that's why it was a bummer because I thought Scream Factory kind of knew what we wanted because they were doing it with their Blu-rays. They were giving us great slips. Their slips weren't as nice as Vinegar Syndrome, but the artwork was gorgeous, and then you could do the reverse slip. And then they put out these 4K releases, and they've just cheapened out on us, man. It's kind of a bummer, man, because they, you spend so much money on them, and then I've been buying all their 4Ks because I want to own like all their 4K releases, and it's like they're bumming me out because it's like I want to be able to take see this artwork and then show the original artwork. You know what I mean? It's like I want to see I like to see both. I don't want to just see one artwork, especially when you're spending that kind of money. And it's weird because you see like if I go and show you, they're like on 1 or 2 of the 4K releases, they do it. Let me see if I show you. Like just to show you, like, and they easily could have done something because I know for a fact, like the Funhouse, they do it. You get another art. Like you could just give me just the teaser artwork, teaser poster art. You get it for that one. But then the Howling, which I know there's another poster art because there's the one where it's the wolf snout. They did one artwork, a teaser poster, and then they changed it to the woman's mouth. But there was one where it was a wolf snout instead of a lady's mouth showing. But it's the same. I don't, you know what I mean? It's like I'm spending money when I already owned it on Blu-ray because I love to support Scream Factory. And they do you dirty. Then Piranha, you get it. It's like I think only 2 of the 4K releases have regular artwork. I want to say all of the other ones are the same. I think Krampus, that's the only other one. I think Krampus is the only other one. So yeah, a bit of a bummer on that. Dog Soldiers, they easily could have done different artwork for this one too. Like there's a different poster art for Dog Soldiers, especially when that's new, they've Scream Factory's been letting me down a little bit on that one, but yeah, man, dude, shout out my man Zach. Thank you so much, dude. I am just so ecstatic to own these and just so happy to finally own Incredible Melting, man. I mean, shit looks so damn good, dude. So damn good.
That's crazy.
So, yeah, real happy to finally own these, man. But that'll wrap it up for us tonight, man. Great show and tell as always, guys. Literally, you guys are always the best. Thanks for hanging out the last 2.5 hours. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you guys come tune in this Monday night, 7:45 Eastern, where Scarpad's Domain does Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Then the follow-up on Pop Culture Philosophers, he'll be doing Martin Scorsese's classic Taxi Driver. Then this upcoming Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing episodes 9, 10, 11, and 12 of Twilight Zone, the original series, obviously. And then tune in back the next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, while we review Tourist Trap, a Full Moon Presents. Gonna be a fun one. Thanks as always, everyone, for hanging out. Love you guys so much. You guys are absolutely the best. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, man. And we'll see you.
We'll see you guys later. See you on Monday.
Yes, sir. Peace out. Fable, did you have anything going on you want to say before we dip?
Yeah, go back and catch the rewind. Blame Fable and his amazing friends with Nick Comic Culture. We had Dale of Suspense on. We talked about The Last of Us. We talked about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, a whole bunch of stuff that happened this week. So go check the rewind on that. I'm gonna throw it on YouTube here soon, but it'll be on IG until then. And next week, no show, guys. Unfortunately, my schedule, I gotta work and stuff, so no show next week. But we'll come back strong the week after with new guests and new topics, man. So every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern on IG Live, man.
Hell yeah, man. Tune in. Go check them out. Love y'all, man. Peace out.
Catch
Have a
you guys
great
later.
rest of your weekend.
Thank you.